What's up, everyone? It's a Sunday Night Football watch-along. Bengals and Chargers right here on Forward Progress, presented by Fanduel and part of the Hammer Betting Network. I'm Rob Pizzola. I'm with you for the rest of this night. Clive Bixby going to join me in the first half of the game. We got Austin Mock from The Athletic in the fourth quarter tonight as well. A very big roller coaster day for me today. Not a lot of big bets, but a lot of volume, a lot of swings. Obviously ended losing not only on the Chiefs on the money line and spread in this final game here, but also losing Chiefs teasers that were paired up with the Dolphins and paired up with the Bengals tonight as well. So overall, not a great finish to the day, but what can you do? What can you do? Ups and downs. That's the NFL. I'll break down and recap the day that was with Clive Bixby as we look ahead to next week as well. But let's get into Sunday Night Football. I hear you, Dom. Wong teasers are dead. They are for this week. I don't play every Wong teaser, by the way. Like there was scenarios this week where Cleveland would have fit in or the Saints. I didn't really like that game to be teased. Chiefs not to lose by margin, ordinarily a pretty decent bet. Would do it 100 times more if I could. Someone, such is life. Huckleberry Finn. Whoever mentioned Cam Akers TD at 5-1 earlier in Pizza Buffet today, thanks. That was huge. Someone also mentioned Anthony Richardson 2+ touchdowns, 20-1 in the stream, and that hit as well. So pretty incredible stuff there. If you want the record year to date for this, Primetime NFL on BetStamp, we do track everything. But let's get into it. I want to get into as many things as humanly possible here before we get it, before we start recapping the day. Don't love the game tonight from a betting perspective. The big news about half an hour ago, maybe a little bit more than that, is Khalil Mack is out for tonight's game. I talked about that on Pizza Buffet this morning. That's a big loss for them. They do have Bosa and Tuli Tuipulotu on the defensive line. Both solid options, obviously. Bud Dupree there, though, not great if they have to start rotating him in. Don't love that for them. Also, some surprise inactives. Hayden Hurst at tight end. Talk about that a little bit more in a second. DJ Chark, not active tonight. There were some Chargers beat writers earlier this week talking about how DJ Chark might get a bigger load this week. He's not even active today. So that matters. Left tackle Orlando Brown not playing for the Bengals. So it's Cody Ford again. Cody Ford is not good. Sheldon Rankins is out on the defensive line. That's going to hurt them in the interior. BJ Hill is playing, though, as is Trey Hendrickson. So a lot to go through here. And ultimately, I've settled on a few props. I'll start with the Bengals side of things. I'm doing a repeat of one that we lost very badly on. I think last time that we played it on a stream. It's always good when you go back to the well on something that you got torched on. Same handicap, though, will apply. I'm taking Chase Brown under on receiving yards at 28.5. FanDuel's price, best in market right now at 28.5. When you're playing props, even a difference of 1 yard can matter. So do your best. Play it at the sportsbook that's giving you the best price. In this case, it is FanDuel. Part of the handicap with Chase Brown here is twofold. One, he's coming off a game where he's targeted like 11 times. That's now on tape. That's something the Chargers are going to want to take away. But two, he is not trusted in pass protection. There's going to be a lot of situations where they're facing third and longs. He's not even on the field. This coaching staff does not trust him when Burrow has to drop back and take time to throw. And for this amount of yardage, it's just too high for a guy that's not going to be on the field in very obvious passing downs in a lot of instances. So I do like Chase Brown under 28.5 receiving yards. That's going to be number one here. Just really quickly want to check an updated number on the next prop that I'm going to give out because a lot of stuff is moving in real time as it would be before kickoff based off of the inactives. Okay. Second one. Will Dissly. I like his over receptions at plus money. Over 4.5, plus 102 here at FanDuel. And the handicap is quite simple, but this hasn't been adjusted much off of the information that, excuse me. Something just flew into my throat. I'm going to die here in a second. That Hayden Hurst is not going to play. I already like Dissly quite a bit in this particular game. Talk about him in SGP later on, but I think the number is too low for the amount of snap counts he's going to get, and he is a very reliable low ADOT target for Justin Herbert. Both of these bets are going to be full unit. Chase Brown, Will Dissly, full unit. Thank you guys for the 29.5s are out there. Do appreciate that. Like I said, it wasn't there literally right before I came on air. It's there now. Appreciate the real-time updates from everyone. Will Dissly can find him as high as plus 110 in the market. Any plus money is good on Will Dissly over on receptions in this game. Keeping it going. Anytime touchdown market. There's two guys that listen. By now, you people know that I love to throw darts on this type of game. And we have a couple situations here that I think are worth attacking. Who was our guy last time out? It was Tanner Hudson. But you know what? There's been a big adjustment on Tanner Hudson. He's now priced at plus 1,000. And Drew Sample is going to be the guy that we go to this week. 13-1. I love that Hudson got looks when we played him. Ended up in the end zone. Can never take that away from us. But tonight, we go to Drew Sample, who's got a higher snap count, is used in the red zone as well. I think the price is a little bit too much. And again, I don't want to say wrong player favor. That doesn't really make sense. But I think there's been too much of an adjustment between Hudson and Sample. So we're going Sample for a small bet, about $10 on this particular game. We're also going to go to Stone Smart, who is the second tight end for the LA Chargers. Now it's possible Stone Smart doesn't see much of the field, and it just ends up being a Will Dissly show. That's fine. We got Will Dissly covered on the receptions, but I think at this price, 17-1, Stone Smart is worth playing. Honestly, I could justify something all the way down to the 12-1, 13-1 range. So I like both of those players. Stone Smart, Drew Sample, anytime touchdown market. I also think that this is going to be, or could be, a very good matchup for T. Higgins in particular. The problem is I don't love betting players coming off of injuries, especially on their regular receiving yardage. Instead, though, I will take some shots on T. Higgins in this game. So we're going to go alternate receiving yardage ladders for this game. We start off at, I'm going to start at 80 plus, then I'm going to go 90 plus, and then I'm going to go 100 plus. And I'm going to decrease the bet as it gets larger. Something along the lines of $30, $15, $5. $30, 15, 5. XS, you're done for tonight. Timeout. Done with you already. Thanks for coming out. Final prop before we get into it tonight. SGP. You know how I like to do it. Ordinarily, look for some reverse correlation, some inverse. That's what I'm doing. But I'm not going nuts tonight. I just want something really small here. The one thing that I know about this game in particular is that the Chargers play slow. That's the one reliable for the most part. At some point, they might get out of it a little bit, but for the most part, they play slow. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to be a small bet, but I'm going to play the alternate under in the game. I'll go down to 41.5. $41.5 alternate under. And then I will go Will Dissly alternate receptions over. So we're going to go like 6 plus and then 7 plus in two separate parlays. One and the other. Play both of those types of situations. While Will Dissly getting receptions, some people might say, well, that's not really, why would you play that with an under? Will Dissly's average depth of target this year is 4.1 yards. There's nothing downfield. He is a safety valve. If he's getting a lot of receptions, it's more likely a low-scoring game than a high-scoring game. That's where I'm going for this in the early going. That's going to be it for the props for tonight. So just to quickly recap, Chase Brown, under receiving yards, Dissly over receptions, Drew Sample, Stone Smart, anytime touchdowns, T. Higgins ladders, same game parlay of the game under 41.5, Will Dissly 6 plus. If you wanted to get a third leg, use a profit boost token, just add Will Dissly's regular receptions into that parlay, and you can do it. Don't worry, people. XS will be back shortly. I just read all the comments in real time, and I didn't really want to read his in real time. I think you could understand if you lost a big bet, you probably wouldn't want to see someone rubbing it in your face immediately while you were doing a stream, especially on a day where you ended up winning money as well. So that's the reason. He will be back. It'll happen over time as we let him back in here. I think we got producer Jason with the world's loudest keyboard in the background as well. World's loudest keyboard. Jason, get in here. I know you wanted to play before the game today.
That was like my signal for you to like let me jump on just in case you forgot there. That was why I was doing that. But yeah, no, I have one play. I actually like it, but I like it for two reasons. One, I like the play itself because, like you mentioned, the Chargers play super slow. They're not that great in the red zone. They kick a lot, so that's one reason. The second reason is so I can tweet at Dick for Jeff, hashtag Dick for Jeff. We're taking Cameron Dicker over 7.5 minus 114. And when it wins, we'll tweet at Jeff, hashtag Dick for Jeff. So there we go.
Devs has noticed it is a Chargers jersey.
Correct. But I've been on a hot run recently.
Upgrade the Bengals to favored, or are you I don't know.
I need Scott to to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure I'm on like a hot run. Yeah, so I think I had Eagles.
I didn't catch that. Oh, I caught about 3 minutes of that stream. I came in, I noticed that the banner at the top of the screen was incorrect.
I know.
Thursday. And then I was like raging at that point, and I'm like, I have to get out of here.
I saw it and I'm like, shit, I can't go live until I switch this. And I just didn't switch it. It was crazy. But yeah, anyways.
That's a tough one. Enjoyed New York City quite a bit. Loved getting away, even just for a few days, letting partners handle things. It was great. Can't complain. Back to reality now, though. Back to work. Starting with this game tonight. We'll look for some in-game stuff, but mostly we'll be previewing next week. Before we do, a reminder, bet the NFL season on Fanduel, America's #1 sportsbook. I'm a huge fan of Fanduel as a product. They give us a great offering that we can use during these live streams so we can find all sorts of bets. I see Levi in the chat already talking about T. Higgins to catch a pass on the first drive. If you think I'm not joining you on that, well, you don't know me well enough. Right now, all customers get a profit boost every single NFL game day. That means you can pump up your gridiron winnings multiple times a week. Excuse me, I'm struggling here after that bug flew into my mouth. Tonight, we got the Sunday Night Football same game parlay profit boost token. And if you didn't use your anytime touchdown profit boost token today, you can use it for tonight's game, and you can boost Drew Sample or Stone Smart or whoever the hell you want into a very, very favorable price. FanDuel has tons of ways you can get in on the action. You can get money lines, spreads, player props, and more. Plus, with super simple live betting, lightning fast bet settlement, and instant withdrawals, FanDuel makes betting on the NFL easier than ever before. Just visit fanduel.com/forward-progress to download FanDuel today. You must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right. I actually don't know if Exesh is going to be back or not. I put him in a timeout. I don't know, Jason, if that means like I banned him or not. Usually it gives me an option of like 1 minute, 5 minutes. It just went.
5 minutes is what I see.
5
so
minutes.
He's probably back, but he probably just might not be here. So
I do have to listen. I got rattled in the early going. You have to understand the full scope of things for me today. I did pizza buffet this morning. And by the way, I read all the comments while I'm doing the shows as well. I always read the comments as much as humanly possible. I got dragged this morning by Exesh for the Rams breakdown, saying like, I don't know who's in the lineup for the Patriots. I assure you, I know who's in for the Patriots. That one. I got dragged for saying that the Broncos were going to move the ball very efficiently against the Falcons because of their cornerback injuries. That went very well. He immediately came in, roasted me on the Chiefs pick, which, by the way, was a very, very close game. It came down to a 4th and 2 to cover the game, and Josh Allen made a huge play. Let's not act like this was some sort of game where one side was like a prohibitive favorite to win throughout. Chiefs were in the number the whole game. So it frustrated me. Apologies, but such is life. I do the stream, I get emotional, and sometimes I just don't want to deal with bullshit. And I think we've all been there at some point or another.
Listen, I can relate, Rob, 100%. And one in the chat if you feel like Rob doesn't need to apologize for that, because I feel like, listen, we have one rule in the chat. It's to be respectful. And if your entire goal is to come here and not do that, then you're gonna get a timeout. And that's the whole purpose of it. So anyways.
And just to add to this, like, you people know me by now. I'm not a fake content creator. Like, I'm betting serious money on these games. I'm not going to divulge what this is, but I don't give out picks and then go throw $5 on it. I mean, if you can only put $5 on it, that's fine. That's bet within your limits. I'm not suggesting you don't, but it's a significant financial loss for me when the Chiefs lose, when the Chiefs don't cover a teaser. And overall, I don't want to hear about it in that moment, in that exact moment. We recap the games, me and Clive, every week. We'll talk about it, but I don't want to hear about it. Anyways, that's it. Apologies for not having XS around before the game today. Apologies for that. All right, let's move on with life. As I see Carrie Underwood on screen here. Is the game not started yet? Also, what's the score in this Grey Cup game? Thought it was 10-9 Winnipeg. What are these, Jonas Brothers at the half? I'm not a Jonas Brothers guy. I'm not going to lie. Before I bring on Clive, hey, Rob, do you know when certain props drop? I checked constantly this week for a rushing prop that finally opened Friday in Steam before I could get it. Usually, they're around the same time on Fridays. Not all markets, not all sports books. It just becomes something where you kind of got to pay attention on a weekly basis and either set alerts or, do whatever. That's what the hell just happened to that camera. Like, did the bug fly by or something? I don't know what the hell just happened. We're in blurry mode. All right. I don't even know what's happening here. Focus just went like crazy. Try to fix it over the course of the stream. All right. Clive Bixby, let's go. How are things?
And you got to focus.
Yeah, I think, have I come back in focus? I'm still out of focus. I don't know what the hell just happened there, man. Ghost of Jeff is the best type of scenario I could go with. It's a very weird day because I'm wearing a hat and you're not.
I know. Yeah, it's rare. Okay day. Lost a unit. No big deal. Contest picks went pretty well, though. Obviously, the Chiefs did not go well for you.
No, that's see, like the thing is that I bet I had all 3 4:00 games. I had all the late games. I had already one on Seattle. I had already one on Denver, and it was looking good for a period of time. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, really, at the end of the Chiefs game, I don't know if you were in the same boat as me or not, but I'm just rooting for the Bills to finish, like, get a first down there, run out the clock. I didn't even care if I lost the best bet on the money line. That didn't matter to me. But Josh Allen made a play, and he got pinballed by like 5 defenders into the end zone and held on to the ball. And such is life, man. You move on. You live and you learn.
Yeah, if nothing else, I kind of question the defensive play call there, not to have somebody at least, having eyes on Josh Allen there.
The lack of spy was certainly interesting.
A choice.
Because I'm watching the end of that game with my wife actually, and she's like, "What do you think's going to happen here?" I'm like, "I bet everything I have that Josh Allen is taking off with the ball here." I'm like, "This is a Josh Allen." Now, it wasn't a draw. They didn't call like a designed run for him, but he ended up and it seems like pretty much everyone knew that was going to happen, right? It's 4th and 2. It's going to be in the quarterback's hands. There was no chance they were going to hand off on 4th and 2 after getting stuffed on 3rd and 2. By the way, great call going for it on 4th and 2. All the take the points crowd is very silent today, with all the kicks that were missed, plus that situation. But that's such is life. It was just a great play by Josh Allen, and you gotta give him credit for it.
Yeah, the take the points crowd, that's just results oriented thinking. If you're going to be quiet when the results go against you, and then you're going to chirp when what you think should have happened. That's one of like the most annoying things in the world. I learned results oriented thinking playing poker. I'm sure you probably dealt with that when you started with poker too. It's just not the right way to think about things.
Yes. Before we get into it further here, Ekshesh is back in the chat. Is this CCP dictatorship? Ekshesh, do me a favor. I feel bad about the temporary timeout. Send me a charity that's very important to you. You can DM me on Twitter. You can put it in the chat. Doesn't matter to me. I'll make a donation to that charity tonight or tomorrow morning. Feel bad and would like to right the wrong. I was really rattled there for a second. I got to tell you, I missed
the comments, but I saw like the aftermath because I had to walk away to feed my dog real quick, and then like I'm like, what the hell just happened?
I was just trying to rifle through a bunch of picks before the game, and I saw it, and I couldn't take it. So, Ekshesh, please, charity that's important to you. I'll make a donation, and we can move on with life. Other stuff today that I had. So. What I know you're normally a low volume guy, Clive, relative to me, because I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ended up with about 12 bets today, plus teasers on top of that. So I'm in tune with everything. What were some games that you were fixated on today?
So the Colts game, Colts Jets, I was fixed on. I had some under Colts stuff that did not come to fruition at all. The Jets played absolutely just dead football.
That was like, I don't know how that game went off the rails so quickly. So I was on the under there too, a game that I lost today. Like there was one point in the game where there was legitimately the Jets did not get a first down until inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. And that game just soared over. That was a tough one. That was, I mean, even just looking at the box score now, it's, I guess a few explosives really did us in, but aside from that, I'm struggling to see where we got 55 points in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson didn't look great. He didn't look as bad as he'd looked before, but he made some plays with his legs. He actually made a good amount of plays with his legs. I think what helped both him today and Caleb Williams today was the throwing into the game plan more runs, or at least being willing to run more and scramble, because when those two just try and be pocket passers alone, it's not really working out for them so far this year.
I thought Richardson played really well today, honestly. It made the decision to go to Flacco look pretty dumb after today. I mean, listen, he was aided by some great catches.
Yes.
Josh Downs made like one absurdly good catch. There was a few of those, but I thought he played pretty well overall. And, what are you going to do? I mean, I don't really regret taking that under. It looked really good for a half, and then it just fucking went off the rails in the second half.
You want to do a play clock?
I will do a play clock after I watch this second down play, which is an out to midfield. Okay, play clock is running down here. 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, and then it's off of the screen. Appreciate the donations here, Drew. Thank you very much. I will add it to the donation. Jay Jones, thank you very much. Doesn't go unnoticed, obviously. We don't ask for donations, but it's always appreciated. We don't pay producer Jason very much, especially when he screws up the graphics like he did on Thursday night in the banner at the top of the screen. So it really helps to give Jason a little bit extra, especially around the holiday season. That way he can afford gifts for the family. That would be, don't want to.
He's just going to put that towards his next PGP.
I don't think so. I would hope it actually goes towards some holiday gifts. Other stuff from today. So what were like the big games going into today that stood out to me? Okay, first and foremost, Packers and Bears. You catch a lot of Chicago usually on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was an emphasis on Caleb Williams running more today, using his feet more. He did look better with left tackle and right tackle in there. It's another game where I think I look at the box score at the end of the game and I find myself wondering, how did Green Bay not do better? Like, this is a constant theme, I think. they only got to third down 5 times in the game. Like they averaged 8.5 yards per play. Yet they finish with 20 points. They end up pulling it off because they block a field goal at the end of the game. But seems like a game again where I'm watching, never felt like they were comfortably ahead. They were trailing for a lot of the game. And I don't really know what to make of the Packers going forwards, because going into the year, they were kind of like a dark horse for people. Not even a dark horse, legitimate Super Bowl candidate. Like, I don't want to say sleeper, but like on that next level team. And now I don't know where I put them in terms of things in the NFC.
In the NFC, they're towards the top of the tier, probably. They're not the top tier. Please don't misunderstand that. But you probably have the Vikings, Eagles, and then the Lions all the way up. So if you want to put Green Bay at the bottom of the Vikings, Eagles, and maybe Niners too, I could see that. But the Lions are head and shoulders above. I think I was a little more down on the Commanders than most people were anyway before this week. So they're about where I think they belong. But I mean, Green Bay can compete. They have enough talent. They always have health issues, it seems like, but I don't know. They are the third best team in the NFC North.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on which day you ask me on, because it changes for me so regularly between. I mean, the Vikings look good today, but that's going to be like, that's the Will Levis experience. Send that pressure on that guy. I mean, they completed like a 98-yard touchdown pass to Nick Westbrook-Akine. Aside from that, they pretty much did nothing all game. But yeah, I mean, like, there's some comments about Shane Waldron in the chat. Today made Waldron look even dumber. I would have to agree. It looked like a functioning Bears offense for once, albeit they only put up 19 points. Should have probably been 22, but another game where there's a blocked field goal to end the game.
Yeah, and I saw them getting the ball to DJ Moore a little bit earlier to try and get him some screens and whatever, just to get him involved. That helped too. So a small tick up for the Bears, maybe a little bit of hope for a Bear fan, but they still got a long way to go. Who do they have next week? Who do the Bears have next week?
We'll go ahead to next week, but yeah, it's Minnesota. I was going to say, I knew it was a divisional because down the stretch this year, I bet some under Bears, and this was actually live on Forward Progress. I want to say like 5 weeks ago, because it was entirely their schedule down the stretch. This was when actually people didn't even think the Bears were terrible yet. They were like a middling team. They had gone through a stretch of playing some bad football teams, but they have all the divisional games down the stretch, plus the Seahawks. And I want to say
the 49ers.
It's there you go, 49ers.
Minnesota, Detroit, San Fran, Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle, Green Bay. That's a gauntlet. Yeah.
An absolute gauntlet. Steelers, Ravens in the AFC today.
Ooh, they don't convert here.
Yeah, third down. This is at midfield. Very likely a punt with the Bengals coaching staff, almost certainly. Not a bad start for the alt under. What did you make of Steelers, Ravens? 41.5 alt under.
I have a couple alt unders on Cincinnati alone.
Interesting. All right. So we're rooting for a quiet first half. When we're talking, me and you, Clive, that's what I'm usually rooting for. I hate when it's a chaotic first half. I'm so distracted trying to look through poor Levi. Levi didn't realize that. Higgins catch on the first drive. It's all right. Bad bounce back.
So you asked, what did I think of the Steelers Ravens?
That's the one.
The kind of game that I expected. I didn't expect Justin Tucker to miss 2 field goals, but I think last week we said, or I thought the number was going to be 3.5, slightly juiced towards the Steelers. Ended up not playing the Steelers at 3.5, minus 110. But if you would have put a gun to my head, that's where I would have put my money. But I just think 3.5 was really the right number today.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to break it down because the Steelers did a very good job of containing the Ravens offense. There was some uncharacteristic stuff. First drive of the game, Derrick Henry fumbles. I think it's the first offensive play for the Ravens.
Like 500 carries or something like that, like for the last time he fumbled.
Oh, he was fucking pissed
He was hot
on the bench.
Yeah,
Like
he was hot.
He's just not used to that. But you look at the offensive numbers from Baltimore today, and I mean, listen, they would look okay for a regular team, right? 6.1 yards per play. That's fine. They ran for 124 yards. Penalties really did them in, I thought, and it looks like that on the scoreboard as well, or the box score. 12 penalties, 80 yards. They had a lot of first and 20s, plays called back, things of that nature.
Drops. There were some drops.
But for the Ravens, this is not a good offensive output, relatively speaking. And they were aided by some dumb shit from the Steelers as well. Like Russ at 15-10 threw a pick in the back of the end zone. Could have made it 18-10 in that spot, and that was a horrendous play. Justin Fields came in for parts of the game. He had like an easy first down run and slid like 2 yards short, has zero awareness of what's going on the field. Again, I just can't help but like look at the box score and say, listen, yeah, okay, the Steelers play well. They win the turnover margin by 2. Ravens turnover 3 times. And I just ask myself, how do they continuously do this? Because like at some point, you have to figure it's going to swing in another direction, right?
Well, yeah. And I don't know. I don't think you follow a ton of college football, but I have some ties to BYU, and I was watching BYU, and this whole season has been a lot of good breaks for BYU and winning close games. Last night, there was a pooch kick on 4th and 5 where they thought they were going for it, hit the BYU guy in the helmet. They couldn't recover, and they got the ball at the 3 and scored a touchdown. It was that kind of stuff. To your point, eventually you think things will change for the Steelers, but it just never seems to happen. No matter what Tomlin does, he seems to manage to find ways to keep games close always. And his teams don't seem to make those big mistakes all that often either.
Yep. It is like a trust your defense mentality, but it works when you can actually repeatedly trust your defense, and you can trust them to slow down a dynamic offense like Baltimore. It works for them. With turnover margin, trust the defense. And like this is going on, a decade and a half now. And that's not to say they never had a good offense, because they had several years under Ben Roethlisberger when they had a good offense. But it's kind of the way that they coach their games. And even with Highsmith out today, Herbig made the impact play on the Henry fumble, first play of the game. They just look good. They figure out a way to contain Lamar for the most part. And I mean, if you I didn't bet the spread in that game today, but if you had bet the Steelers, I feel like you were comfortable the entire game.
Yeah, and you probably shouldn't have been, to be fair. The 2 missed field goals, but Lamar and the offense kind of stalled a little bit. I'm trying to remember the games that TJ Watt missed last year and how much that defense slips when he's in versus when he's not. It's so ridiculous. He might be one of the most important players to his team's defense. I would look forward to seeing these 2 teams play again in the playoffs.
Is there a site you guys use for expected points scored for a game? So I run that myself because I like to strip out certain types of plays. But I think Kevin Cole, unexpected points, if you want to sign up to his Substack, I don't know if it's free or not, but I'm pretty sure he does it. If anyone else has recommendations, just drop them in the chat. I'm not familiar with what's free and what's not. I don't utilize a lot of these resources. I'm not sure, Clive, if you have anything there.
No, same. He ends up doing basically a luck stripped out EPA per play. I think it's Cole. I'll check, and then I'll check I'll put it in the chat later.
Yeah. Other games today, Detroit blowout. There's not really much to talk about there. Miami blowout.
That's my biggest regret of the day, by the way, the Lions, because I pulled up alt numbers on the Lions today on Fanduel, and I just could not pull the trigger.
I actually bet some Lions, which is extremely rare for me to lay big points in the NFL. The only reason I feel like a complete idiot from that game is I actually had a fairly substantial prop bet on Mac Jones over passing yards as well. Because this is the exact type of game I figured it was going to be. And I'm like, at some point, they're going to accumulate something through the air. They just never did.
I just expected them to continue to fail even, in such a shitty negative game state. And they did.
Yeah. Yeah. Big play for Chase over the middle there. By the way, that first drive from the Chargers, I know they missed that. There was like a very clear face mask or a penalty on that drive, but the running there is just so brutal sometimes. It really is. It really is really brutal.
Good job by Chase getting behind the defenders.
Yeah. Miami, Las Vegas. Miami overcame the really bad spot, the Monday Night Football against team off the bye. The Raiders, they talked about how much they wanted to run the ball, and then Alexander Madison and Zamir White both got hurt in the game. They ended up with like 15 carries. Just a bad football team, bad coaching staff, complete disaster of a team right now. New Orleans, Cleveland is one worth talking about a little bit because New Orleans has gotten away now with some pretty significant injuries in back-to-back weeks. And I don't know, man, Cleveland, that was a mistake. Big mistake.
I mean, that was that felt just like a super mailed-in game by Cleveland on defense too. Whenever I saw a big play from New Orleans, and maybe it's selection bias of the few plays that I saw, it did not seem like there was a lot of effort coming from the Cleveland DBs outside of Ward.
I don't like to judge effort because Cleveland has actually given up a lot of explosive plays this year, and they kind of have just sucked at that. It was interesting because some of the explosives today were like underneath stuff. Like the Marquez Valdez-Scantling one. Yeah, it was like last week was bombs downfield. This time it was underneath. And I don't know. I mean, the big thing for me is Cleveland's identity in the past is always like this rushing team, and they can't run the ball now. I don't know if it's because Chubb is washed or something's going on with they just can't run the ball. Jameis had a decent game today. He had a couple passes like his usual, make you scratch your head type of situation. But that was that. It feels like Cleveland is the team that I think of differently in my head. And then I watch them play. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is even with Jameis, like Deshaun Watson was one thing. Jameis is different, but Carlos says Chubb is super washed. It's hard to disagree, man.
Yeah, he does not look good at all. And Winston still did some of his galaxy brain stuff. He managed not to turn it over, but I mean, some really bad decisions and throws there. Missed field goals there. I mean, what did they miss from 33 yards or something like that? Defensive holding call. Then they get it down even further, and then they miss again. Like, take the points.
Holy
like they're free.
Fuck, man. That was such, who was it that missed back-to-back in real time? And I was thinking to myself, someone else missed a real short kick right around the same time that kick was missed. It wasn't Tucker at that time, I don't think yet. I think it was another team. But it happened in such quick succession of short field goals missed. I was just thinking to myself, like, the poor guy. I think it was the Rams. It was the Rams. They hit the upright on like a 27-yarder. Oh, man. What a swing that was. In succession, man. I'm like, how does this happen to me? Of all people, 30-yard field goals. And it's happening.
Well, and then the Colts kicker ends up like nailing a 56-yarder when I have Colts unders. I'm like, come on, I can't hit these other things that I need because I needed Cleveland today to do better than they did.
I'm watching. I'm gonna watch this second and goal here because we have Drew Sample anytime touchdown. I know some people played him first. He was on the field there, number 89. But this, MRM, can we get it past the Sample here? That would be nice. That would be nice. He was blocking on this play, though. I'd like to see him run a route. That would be nice.
See if he's still on the field.
That's the big thing. If not, I got to hope that they get stopped, right?
Yeah, no, I don't see him.
No, looks like they brought out Hudson for this play.
And we have a flag on something. Maybe a procedure. Or formation.
Got the Burrow throwaway as well. Don't love that.
Yeah. What else?
Going to back them up.
Rams, Patriots.
Yeah, I will say this. Like, as a Rams backer today, for a lot, I never felt comfortable because there was a point where it was 28-19 Rams, and the Patriots missed the extra point on their touchdown, which would have made it 28-20. And for me, that's the worst case scenario when you're betting on Sean McVay, because he's just dying to run the ball, to run out clock. And you knew the Patriots were going to get it back. And they did. They just had to settle for a field goal. Oh, what is that?
It's a throw to his line.
Illegal touching. Can't do that.
That was a circus play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny thing when you want a game to be 2 scores versus not, because of, the way that the coach is going to then approach it, and it's going to be a fucking mess.
Yeah. Drake May is awesome to watch. I would agree. He's a very good quarterback already. He really is. He still, listen, I mean, like he makes mistakes, but you can see the talent.
Yeah.
You can see the talent there.
Do I think he's going to be the best player from the class, the best quarterback from the class? I kind of do. Like, if you make me choose one of those quarterbacks from last year's class that I have to take their career, it would probably be Drake May. And I don't know how much of that is a cynical Bear fan, but I think he's got a lot more longevity and up due to the way he kind of processes. He's willing to throw the ball down the field. If he can just, he's not by any means like Will Levis galaxy brain, but he still misses a couple of coverages out there and makes some bad throws.
I want to say, but first of all, actually, Michael Penix played some today. It was pure blowout in the game. He actually looked okay. Made some decent throws. Got a receiver killed downfield as well. Not his fault. The receiver just fell awkwardly. But Daniels, May, Bo Nix look the part right now. I'm not suggesting Bo Nix is great by any stretch of the imagination, but, he can go out and he can win you games. He can attack a bad defense. You give him time to throw. He can do it.
Pick apart. Yeah.
Caleb is the guy that doesn't look the part of everyone that was drafted this year.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say Daniels is coming back to earth. I just think he's facing a little bit of a step up in class in terms of defenses, and I think he'll still adjust. He's going to be very good.
Yeah. All right, let's get started on next week. A lot to break down, although there's fewer games next week because I believe 6 teams are on bye. So it is what it is. We'll do our best to break them all down. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Number here at Fanduel is Pittsburgh 4.5, and total in the game 39.5, juiced towards the over. I'm just going to start right away because I already looked up the weather for this game, and it looks like it's going to be substantially bad. Snow and wind. That can change, but immediately that is going to draw, I think, early under money and potentially early dog money, because that tends to happen whenever you get these types of inclement weather games. That's not to say it's a guarantee. That's just early weather report in Cleveland. Expected to snow and be pretty windy for Thursday Night Football.
I have no early opinion on that game, and because I think I'm so down on the Browns, I don't think I could be objective. I don't see how the Browns put up any points, though. Even weather aside, take the weather out of it. But I could see that if the weather is bad, I think 4.5 or 5 is a lot to expect.
Yeah,
the Steelers to cover there.
Asks, are there Browns injuries? Their left tackle, DeJuan Jones, suffered a season-ending ankle injury today. The backup left tackle, Jedrick Wills, was not active. Jedrick Wills was their starter to start the year. I don't know what that situation is going to look like. I doubt the Steelers are going to have Alex Highsmith back. I mean, I'm the same as Lord McD here. Gut says Browns at that number.
Yeah,
they can't run the ball. I know. The real problem is, okay, so think about this from a pure handicapping perspective. But if this is a windy game, that turns into both teams have to run the ball. The Browns have not shown the ability to be able to do that right now. Whereas the Steelers, it's not like a super efficient running game, but I trust them a little bit more in that ground and pound type of game. I do think Cleveland's going to draw money in this game. I'm not saying that that's my opinion on what I want to bet, but I think Cleveland is going to draw money here. I don't anticipate the market is going to be rushing to lay 4.5 with the Bengals, with the Steelers on the road. And also, Steelers have played really well back-to-back weeks. Ravens, Commanders, they beat them both. But at what point do we start to get to like a peak pricing on the Steelers as well?
Yeah. This does feel like a Steelers kind of a fade spot. 4.5 seems like it's too much. So gun to my head now, I would definitely bet the Browns and probably the under.
Yeah. Like if we think about today, I mean, just looking at the Pittsburgh offensive numbers, it's not like they moved. They had 4.1 yards per play today. They basically won because they won the turnover margin, and Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals. I mean, like that. Just call it out for what it is. Don't get offended, Steelers fans, but that's just the reality of the situation. And 32% success rate on offense. 32%. The Jags were 31% today. It's a horrible offensive game.
Yeah, I mean, series conversion rate for the Steelers was 60%. For the Ravens, it was 61.5. There just wasn't a ton of offense in this game at all. Yeah, just hold the ball and run. Now slide.
I love when Herbert runs. I love
you fucking moron.
Runs. You don't like when quarterbacks take hits at all.
No, just slide.
He should have slid. He got like 3 extra yards. But I love what Herbert is like a gazelle, man. He has like the longest. He looks so slow, but he's not.
Yeah. No, he does. He takes very long strides. You're right. But he's also fragile physically. So he's not Josh Allen out there, like who's able to take these hits and just get up and go again. Like I just don't want to see another quarterback who has some talent get hurt, because I really don't want to see Eason Stick or whoever's currently the Chargers backup.
Yeah, I'm with you. We getting a catch here?
Looks like it.
Fisk. Tucker Fisk is the 3rd tight end. Fuck, we bet Stone Smart and Will Dissly. And Tucker Fisk is out on the field. You know what that makes me feel like? Very angry, Clive. Very angry. I know Jason in the background is definitely pulling up Tucker Fisk live odds right now. Has to be happening. Off the board. We'll see when that pops back up. Tucker Fisk.
Nice play. Nice rollout. Flag.
Yep. Yeah. Likely coming back, I think. Okay, let's get on to the Sunday slate next week. Who's down? McConkey?
Yes.
See, like the McConkey down, then like somebody like Jalen Reagor or Darius Davis becomes holding defense. That's a tough one.
Wait, Fisk, what was that?
We can't do Fisk at that price. What are you kidding me? Plus 320? Can't do that. Cannot do that.
I see.
Okay. Sunday NFL next week. We got the Lions going out on the road, Indianapolis, to take on the Colts. Early market here. Lions laying 7.5. Wow. Will Dissly, baby.
There's your boy.
I didn't play him on the touchdown market, though. No, Will. You know what? It was a good read, though. It was a good read. Sometimes you just gotta live with it.
It's the beauty of a throw.
Yeah. Right down the seam. Hello. It appears Will Dissly is on the field, Carlos. It appears he is active.
It seems like it.
Nice job, Durso. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Mike Durso, nicest guy to ever be banned from the chat temporarily.
That's quite the plaque to hang over the mantle.
Yeah. Okay. Lions.
What do we got? Detroit Lions, Colts.
7.5 on the road at the Colts. Total is 50.5. Okay. See, like, again, the Lions pricing every week gets, bigger and bigger than where I expect it to be. But do I have an appetite to bet against Detroit right now? No. Sam Laporta, I don't know what the status is, whether or not he'll be back. I know that Alex Anzalone, their middle linebacker, broke his forearm today. He's out long-term. Colts were missing their left tackle, Bernard Raymond, as well, which I thought would be a bigger blow than it ended up being today. Jets seem to be pretty incompetent. First instinct is like, this is a high number, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I still don't like the Colts as an over team right now, but Lions putting up another 28 or 29, like that's what the implied is, right? 28.5, 29.
Yeah.
Oh, a little more.
7.5, 50.
Oh, no.
31. I'm drunk right now. 28, 21, 29, 22. Yeah.
I think that I now worry about the Lions covering every over on their own. So this might be another game where I look at a Colts under.
No, you're looking at under
For the Colts? By themselves.
Just team total,
yes.
You're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, team total. Not the game.
I would be scared of the game state here. It's Detroit indoors. They're going to likely score a bunch of points in this game because they continue to score on pretty much everyone. They had a 5 interception game and put up 26 on the Texans last week. I would have to think like 51 is key for total. I know that the under seemingly draws money in like every game in the 50s. I don't think it's going to here. I really don't.
Where would you think it would close? Like how high? 51.5 or more?
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe you get some resistance at 51.5, but I think that there's going to be a move towards the over here.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that I wonder. Is there going to be enough interest at the Colts at 7.5? Or I guess because the way I was thinking out, 51.5 would make sense because I think the Lions will probably, this might move out a little bit more. Or I would have interest in 7.5. Maybe that's a better thing to say because I don't know if the line will move out that way.
AJ brings up a good point. Virtually zero home field. They travel to Indy short drive. I do agree with that. There'll be tons of Lions fans in attendance, and the Detroit Lions fans do travel well. Yeah, I don't know. NB says I'll book you over 51.5. Why would I do that? Why would anyone do that? The market is at 50.5. Why would I take the worst price possible on the opposite side of a key number? Make absolutely no sense. Not to mention, if there's, any sort of police service in here, they would get you for illegal bookmaking as well, presuming you don't have a license.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have interest at the Lions at 7.5? I kind of do.
No. I like to me. This is going to be, in all likelihood. I mean, listen. This is early reaction, and I got to work on each game a little bit more. I don't have interest in betting the game at this price. I do think that there's going to be some appetite for people to take Colts at 7.5. Like I think it's more likely that you see Colts money than you see Detroit close in like a higher range. Yeah, it's a big number though. Like we're getting into the range of these pretty big numbers for the Lions, and it's not to say that they're not warranted. They're very good, but at some point you got to say, okay, this number is a little bit too much. I don't love Anthony Richardson despite what he showed today. I'm not a huge fan of needing him to like pass for success because the Lions actually have a pretty good run D.
Yeah, and the Jets really just that was a game that I had on along with Red Zone for most of the early games, and the Jets just look like a dead team. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Lions are not that.
No, they're the opposite. They're a very live team, very live. All right, KC, after their first loss of the year, goes out on the road to take on Eric Eager's Carolina Panthers. Wow. Eager, Chiefs fan, Panthers employee. KC minus 10.5, minus 115. Total in the game, 41.5. Panthers coming out of a bye. You'd figure they would have Adam Thielen back. They would probably have their left tackle, Ike Ekwonu, back. They played better heading into the bye. And we know that the Chiefs do have a tendency to not blow other teams out. But then it is Patrick Mahomes against Bryce Young. And I don't know. I don't know really what to do here.
That's kind of a scary proposition to be on the other side, even with 10.5 or 11.5, wherever you're looking. But I don't know. What number do you need to have interest in the Panthers in this game? Like where's the point where you just auto fire?
I don't know, probably like 13 or something like that. The Panthers are bad, but they've slowly gotten healthier. They've now had an extra week to get healthy. It's listen, like obviously the Chiefs are not generating explosives. They still are very capable of blowing other teams out, even though they haven't. I kind of think this is just a fine number, honestly. Feels like an okay number to me.
Yeah. What do you think of the total?
I don't think I could bet under. I think you want to bet under. That's why I was going with that.
Do I want to bet under? No, but I kind of think that the number is more likely to go down than to go up. But that might be the way that I've been kind of pricing the Chiefs offense and defense this year. I mean, we both said last week that we thought the Bills-Chiefs game was going to be bet under. And, absent that Allen 4th and 2 run for a touchdown, we were in range.
Yeah.
That was the only one of the games that we did last week that we that went the wrong way.
Yeah, or like didn't move pretty heavily with this. Like we had Colts Jets under 45 on last week's show. That closed south of 44. Great CLV, lost. Browns plus 2.5, closed 2-point favorites, lost. We ended up getting the Packers Bears under. And to me, that was like my least deserving win of the day today. I just look back at that and I'm like, no, got unlucky there. Nothing stands out to me here. Like this is kind of in line with where these teams have been priced this year. Carolina is getting healthier. That's really the only case there's still a pretty sizable gap between these two teams.
Yeah.
Pretty sizable gap. Okay. Keep it moving along here. Minnesota at Chicago, divisional matchup. Minnesota minus 3.5, minus 102 on the road. Total 40.5, juiced towards the under. I think the Vikings are still a lot better than the Bears.
I do. It's going to be a tough test against the Flores defense for Caleb Williams. You're going to throw a bunch of different looks at him, and it could get really, really ugly. So, like, Vikings alt is something that I might look at. Like, immediately, that's the thing that popped into my head because I do think that there could be really, really, quote unquote, bad Caleb Williams next week.
Yeah. So, this is another game that we're seeing today as the Bengals are going for it on 4th down and get it rather easily. Like,
was he down?
Fumble? It's a good question. That's going to be a very, very interesting review here.
I mean, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Higgins hurt again.
Up, or Higgins. I'm sorry, Higgins getting up a little gingerly too.
Mm-hmm. Oof. It's going to be interesting right here. This is going to be an interesting look.
Yeah, he was down.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Yep.
I mean, he looked down
Just
in
down.
real time. I was really surprised
that they let it play. Well, they let them all play out nowadays.
Well, they'll let them all play, but yeah.
Okay. Vikings today played another very good game, in my opinion. Tennessee had a 25% success rate on offense. They really dominated, did Minnesota. They do some stupid shit again. There was like a toss play in this game where Darnold didn't toss it properly to Aaron Jones and ended up in a fumble at like midfield. They regularly, though, have been playing well, and I feel like they've almost become an undervalued team because they've had all these red zone turnovers and just stupid shit happen over the last couple weeks. Healthy team all around. There's some 3 minus 120 out there now. I mean, kind of like that. I kind of like that.
I really do think I'm going to end up betting alts when I look into this a little bit more this week. And maybe that's part of me being, a cynical Bears fan, but I've seen Caleb Williams run himself into sacks even against not good defenses. So I can imagine the kind of things that Flores is going to throw, and Caleb's going to look lost.
The question is whether he can unload and get like the one time Levis got it out to someone one-on-one, they had an explosive play. Chicago's receivers can win on the outside. Does Caleb have it in him to get it out quickly? Their left guard, Ryan Bates, left with a concussion today. He was in place of Tevin Jenkins, so they could potentially be down to third string left guard. Tackles were back and healthy, though. I think that showed. The offense just looked better overall when they weren't down 4 of their 5 starters on the O-line. But at this price range now, I feel like the valuable side here is Minnesota. Although it's a little bit all over the place across the market. So it's hard to say. I mean, I say -3, -120, but that's just one shop. Most of the market is paid at 3.5. And, if I'm looking at -3.5, -102, I'm a little bit less excited about it, but I still think that is directionally the right side.
Yeah. And the Vikings have been able to do a really, really good job of moving the ball. They have to stop doing some of the boneheaded shit that they do, on the plus side of the field. But I'm almost thinking this total seems maybe Minnesota team total over too is something that I'm thinking about, because I don't know if I trust the Bears to hold up their end of a bargain on a total at 40. I mean, they did have a great success rate and series conversion rate today too against Green Bay, and Green Bay's defense isn't terrible. It's not the Vikings, but
yeah.
Did you have anything on that game today on the side?
We very, very small position on Vikings, and it was only because it was a very good price that was offered to us. Yeah. So I didn't really have a strong opinion on the game. In fact, I actually directionally leaned Tennessee for, I think, the majority of the week. It was just price dependent on that one. As I said that, by the way, the -3, -120 that was out there got hit, and we're up to -3.5, -105. Chat is very split on the total in this game. Very split. Seeing a lot of overs looks and some people with under looks. Personally, at 40.5, I mean, I think in that range of low 40s, upper 30s is fine. I don't think it's like a egregious number.
No, not at all. And I mean, the Vikings average score, I don't have my data up in front of me, but it looks like they've crossed 40 once, twice, 3, 4 games this season. And against 3 decent offenses, Packers, Lions, Rams.
The big thing for me in particular with this game and embedding the total early is it's a late November home game for Chicago. I don't think there's a real advantage in betting an over early in this game, personally.
No, and that's one of the things that you think about during the season as the season unfolds is you actually need to understand whether a lot more, depending on where some of these home games are, Chicago being one of those key areas to worry about. But nothing's jumping out at me at the total, but I really do like the Viking side.
Dallas, Washington, we'll skip over that for now and come back to it if we have time. Tampa Bay at the New York Giants. This will be an interesting one. Early market for Tampa and New York Giants, both teams coming off of a bye week, is Tampa Bay -3.5, -115 on the road. Total in the game is 42.5. Of note here, I feel though Drew Lock will start for the Giants, even though that hasn't been officially announced yet. It feels like traditionally when your QB has sucked going into the bye and the coach is fed up with him, you use the bye to install the new quarterback. So I feel that's likely. There's also just about a million injury things to process for Tampa Bay in this game. Mike Evans, potentially back. Tristan Wirfs has a knee injury. They were down a couple corners. Tyke Smith, Zion McCollum. So there's a lot going on here. I subjectively like Tampa Bay a hell of a lot more than I do the New York Giants. But I don't like Tampa Bay in this price range.
Okay, that's interesting. Does the fact that it's against the Giants really hurt? That seems like this seems like the exact type of game where Baker Mayfield can kind of not dink and dunk, but move his way down the field. He'll have a lot of success throwing the ball against a Giants defense that isn't good.
How is Drew Lock going to keep up with Tampa Bay? Drew Lock. I know. It's not like the Bucs have a good defense, though, right?
They don't.
Oh man, I feel like, Clive, we've not been on the same page on pretty much anything so far tonight, and I like Tampa Bay so much more than I like the Giants. I want to make that explicitly clear that I do. I just think that the number is again, I'm looking at this game. I'm not looking at the number. I'm just pulling up rotation number order. I see Tampa Bay, New York Giants. I'm thinking to myself, yes, I want Tampa in this game. Then I pull up the number and I see the number and I'm like, I don't want Tampa at this number anymore. So it's not like, okay, we need to go bet the Giants immediately.
No. Well, when you first said it, I thought we were probably going to get a 3, just a flat 3. That's what I thought. And I would have been very happy there. But I'm still at 3.5. I still feel pretty decently that come Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm still going to like Tampa Bay. Anybody in the New Jersey area heard anything from, the front office or the coaching staff about committing to Daniel Jones for the rest of the season? Because I thought I read something, but that could have been not fake news, but you know what I mean.
I'll ask Austin Mock in the fourth quarter because he deals with a lot of the Giants beat reporters as well. So he may know, but that's a good question. Which way does the number move if Locke is announced as starter? I mean, he is a backup, and has been most of the year. The coaching staff thinks Daniel Jones is better, but there are these scenarios where you get a very short-term upgrade on a quarterback that doesn't play much. It's not like Drew Lock's never had tape before. There's tape on him, but he's installed in a new offense. Brian Daboll asked if Daniel Jones is still the starting quarterback. Won't say yes, only that they are evaluating things. I think it's likely Drew Lock is starting. And to answer the question, I think if Drew Lock is announced in, Tampa Bay money comes in immediately.
Yeah. I don't think it goes that far out, though.
No, there's a resistance. There'll be a resistance point at some point or another. And then there's going to be the situational guys who like to play, the backup QB angle.
Yeah.
Expect Cooper Rush every week, backup QB angle.
Oh, yeah. We could talk about Monday night game this week too.
I'd rather not. That'll decide my
That's-
week now, actually. Yeah. Yeah. I need the Bengals to stay within the teaser number here. And I got some Houston teaser stuff tomorrow night as well, which would be an interesting
I
one.
just need the score to stay low.
Yeah. Okay. Patriots at the Dolphins next week. Early market at Fanduel. Miami -7, -115. Total in the game, 45.5, juiced towards the under. This is within the range of what I expected the price to be for the way that Miami has kind of been priced. They were in this range against Las Vegas today. I do think New England offensively is a lot better than Vegas. Patriots are pretty healthy now, as are the Dolphins, with the exception of Kendall Fuller, who missed today. At 7.5, I do find the Patriots to be a little bit appealing in this game. At 7, not so much. Would kind of need that hook, and there are some in market right now. But that's what my gut is.
Yeah, no, we agree. We have a pure agreement today. Like
a pure agreement that
same
at
thing.
at 7.5, which is out there, several spots, -110 as well, I should say, or even some -105s. I would feel that's a valuable position.
I feel like the over has some appeal to it as well. Like initially, I think this is a little. I see 44.5s out there. I think that's short. 45.5, slightly juiced is. I still think there's room there, but that's my initial instinct.
You know what, Clive? I like the cut of your jib. I do agree with you there. I know New England's defense is healthy now. Miami is not really throwing downfield, but they're still successfully moving the ball. Like 52% success rate today, 0.32 EPA per play. Didn't turn the ball over. 8 for 12 on third down. It's mildly concerning, though, in the grand scheme of things of, like, are they going to be able to repeat that regularly? They also didn't punt today, by the way, against the
they had a 92% series conversion rate. Oh, good throw.
Wow, that's some arm strength right there. That is Herbert. Quentin Johnston in the end zone. Difference in this game, Bengals settling for field goals, Chargers settling for touchdowns. What a drive.
Taking those points.
Yeah. I like the look for over here, but probably not impacted by weather. I really do like May quite a bit.
And their defense did not look good today against the Rams either. I think the Rams had pretty much, it felt like whatever they wanted. I didn't get to see a ton of the game, but what I did see and the stats after, that just, it seemed like that score was closer than it should have been.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to think about this from any other perspective that I might be missing on the early going here. These lines are pretty tight, got to say. Later in the year, they're getting tighter and tighter. Before we continue on, if you're here on YouTube, over 800 of you watching live right now, smash that like button down below. If it's your first time finding us on Forward Progress, sub to Forward Progress. We do tons of content like this over the course of the week. Don't guarantee you're going to get the best or winning picks, but we do talk them through and we try to rationalize them as much as possible, let you know what our processes are for picking these games. If you're watching over on Twitter, there's a pretty active chat that goes on during the show. Hop on into our YouTube, Forward Progress. You can jump into the conversation as well. Let us know what you like for next week, as the rest of the chat is doing in real time. Okay, keep it going. What a disgusting slate this is next week, man. Some of these games. We'll skip Tennessee, Houston for now. We'll come back to that because they're playing on Monday Night Football tomorrow. Denver and Las Vegas. I want to see what the line is because I already have some thoughts in my head before I see the line. Denver, Las Vegas. Denver on the road, -3.5, -118. Total in the game is 40.5. So here were my thoughts. For those who watched Pizza Buffet this morning, I had to argue with Exesh about this, but Denver going up against a defense in the Falcons today that was missing 3 of their top 4 corners, doesn't generate pressure. They cooked them. Next week, Denver's going to go up against a team that suffered injuries to a few corners today. Ja'Cory Bennett, Jack Jones. Their slot corner, Nate Hobbs, was out. That could potentially be the Raiders down their top 3 corners. So in the early going here, I think the look has to be Broncos or over. It is a big adjustment on the Broncos. You're buying the Broncos at a higher level for sure than last week because they beat up on a bad team in the Falcons. But they're going to get a similarly bad team, and you have the injury upside working in your favor as well.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Vegas is fucking terrible. They're not a good football team. And I know it hurts. Like, I didn't think I'd be interested at laying the Broncos anything over a field goal, let alone 3.5 on the road to a division rival. But immediately Denver seems appealing.
I mean, it might be so Alexander Madison got hurt today. Zamir White got hurt today. Both their top 2 running backs left the game. I know that Antonio Pierce is like a run the ball guy. I cannot see them coming out and establishing the run with Amir Abdullah next week. Like, you got it. They probably are going to try to throw more, I would have to assume, especially since the Broncos can defend the run pretty well. I mean, Jag says he got the Broncos -3 on look ahead. That's great price.
Yeah.
I think one or both of these positions has to be valuable, which is current Broncos price of 3.5 -118 Fanduel, or the over at 40.5. And I'm actually not sure which one I like more off the top of my head. Instinctively, I think the play is Broncos team total over if you're waiting till later on in the week.
So that's the other. I had 2 regrets that I didn't play. It was the Lions and the Broncos today. Team total overs, big, like alt. I mean, listen, but I was wrong about a lot of the stuff that I did do. So it's not like I want a victory lap, just that. But those were 2 regrets that I had in reads going into the game today that I didn't pull the trigger on. I don't know if I'm feeling the guilt of not pulling the trigger on it, but instinctively, I completely agree on the Denver team total over.
Yeah. I mean, I was way off market today on Broncos. Somebody was asking me this morning. They're like, do you find it scary that you're so far off I was north of 3. I was at 3.5 on the game, and there's so much resistance. I mean, Denver took an early bet this week, and then it was just like everyone piling in on Atlanta. I'm like, what am I mean, I review the game very diligently. Usually I can make a strong case for the other side no matter what. And I was struggling big time to make a case for the Falcons in the game. That was nice. Johan says 22.5 team total. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Broncos over that number. That's my opinion. The offense is humming. And if unless the Raiders can find a way to generate a bunch of pressure, which they're not doing right now, I don't know. Like, Max Crosby is great, but Charles Snowden on the other side, it's not a super strong front seven.
No, and Bo Nix against poor pressure has been very, very good this year.
Yeah.
And he was pretty damn good today too. Perfect situation. This was probably his peak situation that he and that offense could ask for today.
Well, I will say,
and they didn't fail.
There's over 800 watching on YouTube. There's over 400 watching on Twitter. And the Broncos just got absolutely fucking smoked in the market right now.
Well, there you
across the board, just got obliterated. So listen, it could have been somebody not watching this. It could have been somebody watching it. I just think, listen, you might get a better Raiders injury report as the week goes on. But typically in these types of scenarios where you have potential for the other team to be missing their best 3 corners against a team that just did this week and carved up the opponent. Plus, you know how many Broncos fans are going to be at this Raiders game as well in Las Vegas? I think there's just a lot of reasons. Anyways,
the team total already moved too. Yeah.
Got smacked. Yeah. Got smacked.
22.5. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Good for you guys. I'm glad everyone got an early valuable position. Okay.
Where's the number where you start thinking about a team total? I was thinking 24.5 is where I have to think about it a little. Anything under that, I think I was liking the Denver over just instinctively. Look at the Gazelle go.
Yeah. Holy geez. You know, I think Hitman was on Herbert over rushing tonight, which is a good look. So there gets to a point now. So here, let's talk this through in real time, because we just talked about this game and Denver takes a bunch of money in market. Now, I would just wait. I think now we've been bet into a position where you might as well just wait on info later in the week. I mean, for me, I'm a very big proponent of betting really early. And then if you miss that early move, don't ape in on like these guys might, Raiders might be down corners. They don't have, they're starting to running back. Just wait at that point till we start to get injury reports later in the week. So those are my thoughts from the team totals. Yeah, I mean, 24, you then get into like a pretty key number for the total. So you got to kind of just pause there and be like, okay, let's wait on stuff.
Yeah.
Let's wait on stuff. Before we get to our next game, I'm going to do just a quick flip to the Grey Cup because hometown team Toronto Argonauts up 17-16, 8:15 left in the fourth quarter there. Big underdog were the Argos today. Big under.
Oh yeah,
they were.
What were they? What were they on the money line?
I can't remember, but they were 8.5 point dogs in the game.
Oh,
8.5 point dogs. Oof. Okay, NFC West matchup. Cardinals on the road at the Seahawks. Early market, Seahawks -1.5, -105. Total 47.5, juiced to the over in this game. This is in line with where the market has been ranking these teams this year or rating them when they've been healthy. There's no major injuries left on the Seattle side. Arizona, I think, might get right tackle Jonah Williams back next week, which would be big for them because they've had issues at right tackle all year. I like Arizona here. My first thought is I like Arizona.
Yeah, I was hoping for a slightly lower opening total too, but no, I like Arizona.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona closes as a favorite in this game. Maybe I'm a little bit too high on Arizona, but they have a very good coaching staff that is putting them in some very good positions right now. Credit to Seattle today. They won the game, but it kind of felt like San Fran lost it as much as Seattle won it.
I feel the same way. And we could talk about the 49ers. We will. I guess they're the next game that we'll talk about. But man, they don't feel like they're moving the ball like a broken team, but they're a broken team. Like I just don't know how else. I don't know if it's snake bit or what, but
yeah,
they just feel cracked.
Mm-hmm. Seattle is. Listen, you got to give Geno all the credit in the world for the late touchdown drive. He runs it in, but they cannot avoid the negative plays. Like the offensive output today, 20 points. Okay, it's on the road at San Fran. I get it, but this is not a great San Fran defense. They still, it's funny. Connor Williams retired, and they ended up with Owu. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not
trying.
Oluwatimi. I think Oluwatimi, and Patrick hit it. More bad snaps. Like guy is just. I don't know if Geno can't catch snaps. I don't know what's going on with it, but they take so many dumb negative plays.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to watch.
Adam says Kyler has been bad in Seattle. I don't know how much stock I would put into this. Different coaching regimes for sure. I would say certainly different Seahawks defense in the past than what we have right now. I'd have to dig deeper. And I don't want to completely dismiss that notion, because I think that there are certain teams that regularly, or coaches that regularly have the number on the other. But that would have been Pete Carroll's teams against Kyler. It wouldn't be Mike McDonald.
Yeah. This feels like this could be like the Brown Saints game last week where it flips. Like, I just think this is not the right. I actually think Arizona should probably be slight favorites on the road.
Yeah. I think 47.5 is fine, honestly, as a total. I know. Okay. Let's watch it. Go ahead, Jason.
Quickly, Hassan Haskins getting goal line carries. He got goal line carries last week. I don't know if that's like a thing, and maybe he's about to go. If he doesn't go in here, I don't know if it's like a play after this drive. But
well, he got stuffed here.
It doesn't seem like it's going well for them.
Yeah, I would say maybe Hassan Haskins being the goal line back might want to revisit that one if you're the Chargers right now. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when you have J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards on the roster, maybe you don't give handoffs to Hassan Haskins in the highest leverage plays. That would just be my thought. That would just be my thought.
And Dobbins is back in the snap. And Harbaugh not taking the points.
I mean, I like going for it here.
Of course. I love going for it.
Like, again, there's 4 minutes left in the first half. You have the advantage of, if you don't get it, you're pinning Cincy at the 1, and there's a very decent chance you still get the ball back with good field position.
Right, yeah. I wonder what they call here.
I mean, how do you not call a QB sneak? Look how big your fucking quarterback is. Like, I don't get it. And it's 4th down, so just have him reach the ball, do the Drew Brees. It doesn't matter anymore if he fumbles,
true.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, I will tell you what works here 100% of the time, that nobody ever runs anymore. But if the Chargers ran a naked bootleg right now, Herbert is walking untouched into the red zone.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Ryan Tannehill used to do this all the time. Here we go.
QB kneel it. I don't think they're going to do that. They really like their defense here.
Let's get us in.
I mean, I like the play action boot, but that's just me. Oh, up and over.
There you go. All right. Listen, not the play I would have ran, but they're in the end zone. J.K. Dobbins, of course, gets in. Bengals teasers, no bueno right now. For everyone who was, listen, lots of game left. I've seen the Chargers blow a playoff game to the Jaguars where it looked like they were.
Well, yeah. Like, I don't know that this is the game state that I want. Like, having Bengals team total unders.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be not the game state that you would want, I would say. Setting up well for Higgins alts. I would agree with that. All right. A few more games to get through here on next week's card. San Francisco 49ers at Green Bay Packers. All right. Green Bay -1.5, -105 at Lambeau. Total in the game 47.5. Under -115 right now at Fanduel. Lots of injury situations to go through here. For one, George Kittle didn't play this week for San Fran. His status will be up in the air. Nick Bosa, guy is on a very bad hip, had to pull himself out of the game several times. Trevarius Ward didn't play. These are very impactful players for the 49ers. For the Packers, Jair Alexander pulled himself from the game again with his knee injury. After the game, they said he's fine, could have kept playing. I don't know what's going on with him. He seems to leave every single game at this point. Really tough in the early going to process all of this information, in my opinion, Clive. I think the number is kind of where I would have opened it myself, knowing what we know now with Green Bay just a small home favorite.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't think you can open this really any other way. Total 47.5. That feels light, but at the same time, it's just so frustrating to see the 49ers sputter like on the plus sides of the field, whereas last year They were scoring touchdowns most of those drives, but it still seems short.
The offense did not play well today. I think Kittle is a big difference maker for them. Trent Williams came in banged up as well. O-line, I don't think played particularly well. I do feel this total's a little bit short for the explosives that these teams could generate. Obviously, not having Ayuk in there has changed things a lot for the 49ers offense as well. You can't discount that. At some point, the 49ers will become an efficient red zone team again. I do feel pretty strongly about that. Let's see what they did today. 2 of 3 in the red zone. The other time they settled for a field goal. Total seems a little bit light for two teams that can generate explosives.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was my instinct of where there might be a little bit of edge, and there is a 47 out there too.
Yeah. However, as you would know, it's at a market-making book, which other books tend to come towards, if anything else. So I'm wondering, I really don't see this. I don't really see this being bet to under. I mean, listen, it is Lambeau. That's of note, right? Who knows? You get an injury. Sorry, not an injury report, a weather report of like really cold or windy. That can have an impact, and like that's very much worth monitoring in the early going here. But yeah, if Kittle's in the lineup, I like the 49ers offense so much more. And with the possibility that Bosa misses, like this is not the same 49ers defense. Bosa is beat up, like broken man. He's trying to play through it, but he's just can't right now.
And when I think that the Bears can move the ball as easily as they did today against Green Bay, I mean, the 49ers should be able to do that as well. Even if Kittle doesn't play, they still should be able to move the ball, I think, against Green Bay.
This will be it's similar to how I handicapped San Fran Seattle this week. I don't know that there's something you can do early here. These are very impactful players that I think you need to see how this is going to play out over the course of the week. Sunday Night Football next week, I believe, is Eagles-Rams. Very much looking forward to this game between the Eagles and the Rams. Early market, Philly -3, -105 on the road. Total 47.5, juiced towards the under. Okay. Injuries to process. Right tackle Rob Havenstein missed for the Rams today, as did his backup Joe Noteboom. Got to keep an eye on that. Havenstein especially is a good starter. Chance he's back. Milton Williams got hurt on the D-line for Philadelphia. Not a household name. I think he happens to be one of the more underrated defensive players in the league, but they do have some good depth, so I'm not sure how much that matters. I really like the Eagles as a team right now. I think they found their form defensively. Offensively, I think they leave much to be desired at times. Now that we're at 3, I saw some books open 2.5 here. At 3, I think I could only take the Rams with the way that this is priced.
Yeah, I agree. That's not, I think 2.5 is probably the right number, or at least that's where my instincts initially go. It looks like people are hitting the Steelers. I can't tell.
I like both of these teams. It's really, I mean, at least we get to watch a good game next Sunday night, or at least the illusion of a good game, because we thought this one would be one too, I guess, going into tonight. But yeah,
does this total seem short to you too? Because this one seems total. Yeah, this one seems short to me too.
I think it's fine, honestly. Okay. I don't see it as being low. I really like the Eagles defense right now. I think it took them a long time to find their form. Vic Fangio came in, and yeah, they found their form. Like, they are playing solid defensively in the last month.
Well, their defense against the pass towards at least the last half of last year, if I'm remembering correctly, was one of the worst. Like, just such a disappointment, and they've completely turned that around as a team. And I know you probably weren't on the stream at this point on Thursday, but I absolutely just hate the Eagles, and I root against them. They're my I just can't stand them. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I can't stand them and they're getting better pisses me off even more because I could tell that they're getting better. And I think they're a sneaky, dangerous NFC team if people aren't already bought in.
Rams don't have much of a home field advantage. That's what's like the biggest concern is for me in these types of games. But I look at the way that these teams have been valued in the market this year. There's a pretty big upgrade being given to the Eagles off of last week's win against Washington. I don't necessarily disagree with that because I also think Washington is a good football team. But I suspect when I run my numbers on this game, I'm not going to get to Eagles -3. Feels like a little bit too much. Two good teams, though.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Seems like I'm in the minority here, honestly.
For what?
Seems like a lot of the chat likes the Eagles in the early going here.
Yeah, I think that's undervaluing the Rams if you're giving 3 there. It just doesn't feel.
Well,
it
it's just
too much.
Like Philly drew money against Washington, game day money, big time. They closed out at like 4.5-point favorite. The Rams got faded this week against New England. So there is the possibility that those extend into next week. But, so here's another thing too. Eagles get mini bye, right? There's lots of data that suggests that this doesn't really mean anything. Like Thursday against Sunday, the extra rest, it hasn't really been relevant in a long time. So there's only few situational spots that are actually relevant nowadays. I know this is the way that we've handicapped football forever and it gets talked about ad nauseum, but I wouldn't put much into that personally. All right. I mean, I'm based off the way that the chat interactions are going right now. I feel like this might just close where it is right now at 3. I mean, at 3.5, I don't know how I could not take the Rams.
Agreed. Like that's to me, unless there's an injury that I'm not thinking of, that's a snap bet.
And clearly, the market, the early 2.5s were mostly bet out. The 2.5 -20 or 3 at this point. So, yeah, could be a dual position game. Good point by Mike. Bengals had a mini bye going into this game. Love you, Mike. That's why I'll never let producer Jason put you in timeout ever again. But it would be a fireable offense. I'm just putting that on air right now, just so he can hear, just so he hears. You're wondering about Steelers and Browns. Browns money has hit the market in the early going. So that's been bet down to, listen, if you still want the Browns, 4.5 -110 Fanduel, that's your spot.
Yeah.
That is your spot. And in fact, I'd kind of recommend it at this point based off of where the rest of the market has gone to. Okay. Monday Night Football next week. Guess we could talk about it even though this game is still ongoing. I'll be interested to see what the reopener is, but it's the Ravens going out on the road at the Chargers. I think the Ravens are going to be priced in a similar spot to what they were to the Steelers today, which is -3, juiced -3, something along those lines. I mean, maybe not. Maybe if this turns out to be just this continues on and the Chargers blow out the Bengals, you see an upgrade and it comes off of a 3. But if it did, I would kind of have some interest in Baltimore, I would think.
What, if it gets to 2.5, you mean?
Yeah, if we had a reopener that was off of 3.
Yeah. I mean, is the Chargers defense just this good? It's hard for us when we're doing the stream.
They're missing Khalil Mack tonight, and he's been like a monster for them this year as well.
I know. And it still seems like the Bengals are struggling.
Maybe the Bengals are 4-6, though. Maybe they're just a shit football team. Like they put up points every week, but they could be bad.
True.
I mean, granted, what's Baltimore now? I don't even know what records are anymore. They'd be what, 6-4, 7-4, something like that. Roquan Smith injury, good point. Very valid. Their nose tackle as well left the game today. Travis Jones, I think he came back in. He's got an ankle injury, though, and he's their second string nose tackle because Michael Pierce is IR'd. So, yeah, that's pretty valid all around. That's a tough one. Oh,
three feels right. 2.5, I think I would instant. That's an instant bet too.
Yeah. Man. Chargers a good football team, though. They are like that sneaky AFC team that could do damage. # do damage.
Sam's right. Like the Eagles and Chargers defense giving, a lot of for real vibes with their performances. I think that's true. I mean, who has done well against the Eagles offensively this year when they were healthy?
Eagles early in the year struggled defensively, right?
Right.
And then as the year went on, it's gotten better. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, they got a soft schedule on the way out too.
Well, look, I'm looking at listen, this is an arbitrary number here, but it's just really easy for me to pull up last 5 games. And I've adjusted their defense based off of strength of schedule, and they would be in the last 5 games, best EPA defense in the league, second best success rate defense in the league. Only other teams that would be remotely close are Houston, Minnesota. They're ahead of these teams right now. So Detroit as well. Detroit's been putting in some, not that I think their defense is actually good. Rams 5th, second best EPA adjusted defense. That's actually interesting. Last 5 weeks, Eagles top EPA adjusted defense, Rams second.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa.
Very interesting.
That was the last time. 2 other games that we bypassed purely because both teams are playing tomorrow night. Washington and Dallas. This one will be the Commanders at home. Very hard to say because it's completely dependent on how the Cowboys look against the Texans. But I don't expect the Cowboys to look good against the Texans because I think their offense is a fucking shit show.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting. Makes you nauseous. Really just rancid. It's not good. And it's just really bad.
How many times do the Bengals want to rough the passer today, do you think? Because it seems like they want to do it on every possession.
Maybe 4 to 5. Let's see what happened. I didn't see. I mean, you had to pull him down.
It's a stupid penalty. It's really, really dumb. The ball is out.
He could have let. Nah, just okay.
Well, Terry McCauley says, I think he just said this is a legal. Did he say illegal contact with the quarterback or illegal contact? I don't know what he said there. I don't know. Is that Disley? Is that our boy Disley? The problem is, Disley has 3 catches. I have him over 4.5 plus money.
But the game state's getting even worse for you.
It's getting bad, but I will say on these 3rd and shorts, I can't believe they've been Disley is, I didn't expect him to be running these routes downfield. 3 for 73 and a tutter right now. His usual route tree is a 5-yard curl.
They're leaving that same seam spot open.
Legal and illegal, both. Guys, I know people get really upset on these soft calls in the NFL. I get it. Let me just watch this second down here. But I don't know what that was.
It was good to get out of to not hold the ball anymore so they can at least get another playoff. Yeah.
That it's very clearly a penalty on him. I need the Bengals in a teaser. It's a stupid play by him. The ball is out. He grabs him, pulls him. And of course it's soft. It's not like he ripped him to the ground. It's done. It's a dumb play.
Yeah, just let him go.
Just don't pull him to the ground after the ball's been out for 2 seconds. I know it's
I hate
soft,
this
but
play.
well, it'll be a field goal. I don't want to. I was going to say it's going to be 24. Oh, flag.
Yeah, but what do you do here? Like,
So this is one of the situations.
I know what I do.
But you lose the advantage of these ones are closer than people realize, because you lose the advantage you gain from the other team getting the field position. Bad field position. You know what I'm getting?
Yeah.
At? Yeah.
Yeah, they are kicking.
Dicker the kicker. If he kicks this, it'll be 6 points. Producer Jason's got him over 7.5. Hashtag Dick for Jeff. Dick for Geoff. 24.
I mean, that was a breezy 24 points the Chargers put up that half.
Oh yeah. They fucking cooked them. What do we think for second half line? Bengals favored like 3.
That sounds right.
The Bengals play a lot of these games where they are chasing. I actually really do like them in these types of spots. It's just that second half spread, what do we got? -1.5, -112. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm not arguing that this wasn't a dominant half by the Chargers. Chargers smoked 8.8 yards per play, blew them out of the water. I like the idea of betting the Bengals in a trailing game state like this, because I think the Chargers coaching staff is apt to get a little bit soft and run it.
Yeah. Yep.
Harbaugh and Roman.
Yeah.
I'm about to check the Grey Cup score. 41-16 for Toronto. Clive, I turned to this channel 5 minutes ago. It was 24-16. Bring another champion.
What's the score?
41-16 for the Argonauts. Another
how much time?
championship coming to Toronto.
What other championships do you guys have?
Toronto FC won the MLS Cup 6 years ago. I got the scarf here. Raptors won the title. Kawhi.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Argos won 2 years ago as well. Dynasty ?
Come on. I don't know the last time the Toronto Rock won, but I feel like they won some when I was growing up.
Chat, how can you let this stand? Like
16-25. Raptors 2019, baby. You know what that was like in this? That was electric, man. I jumped up onto the back of a pickup truck and high-fived Nick Nurse at the time. and the cops just let it go. No, Nick Nurse, what a legend for allowing that to happen.
That's pretty cool.
What a legend. It was pretty cool. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. I get it. The Leafs suck. Blue Jays won in the early 90s when I hated the Blue Jays.
Those are the titles that I remember. The Joe Carter days.
Touch them all, Joe. You know what I knew my first boss at the Score, his name was Richard Garner. I'm going off on a random tangent here. He was the first person that jumped on the field on the third baseline when Carter hit the home run. But I long for the days. I know why it can't happen now. But imagine being able to watch your team win the World Series and just jump on the field with everyone in the crowd and start celebrating. Those were insane. No offense to the Dodgers. The Dodgers won at Yankee Stadium, so it was a road game. It's whatever. But it was such a lackluster celebration. I thought.
I was there. It sucked.
Yeah. Nothing could have ever happened. It was a road game. I get it. But let's say they had one at home. Yeah, fans would be excited, but running onto the field with the team is nuts.
Well, that's one of the fun things too, storming the field in college, after a big win, that still happens all the time. But in all pro sports here, that's long gone.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right. I think we covered mostly everything. The only other game on the board that we didn't was Tennessee-Houston next week. Obviously, Houston in action tomorrow night. Obviously, Tennessee, a disaster class of a football team. I'm just very interested to see what the Texans offense now looks like with Nico Collins back in the mix. I'm really, really interested to see that. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is on IR. They don't have him, but the Texans defense is really good. And the offense has been a huge disappointment this year. A lot of it stems from the same shitty play calling as a season ago. Very early down running team. Can't really generate the explosives that they did a year ago. I'm very curious to see if that changes tomorrow night.
I'm kind of hoping Houston goes ham and scores a shit ton of points, and this brings up the number for next week for the total in this game, because I think I would have interest in the under if it moves just a little bit. I mean, I have interest now. If it moves up a little bit, I think I would have a lot of interest.
Yeah, the Titans offense right now is not a real offense. Doesn't matter if it's Levis, Rudolph, it's not real football.
No, I mean, Levis got sacked 5 times again today?
Did he? I didn't notice any huge sack totals today. I guess Levis would have been the one that was Levis took 5 sacks for 34. That was the only team that took 5 sacks today. Rams didn't take a single sack to the Patriots. Jared Goff didn't take a single sack, and Josh Allen didn't take a single sack. Spencer Brown being out at right tackle. I mean, listen, going back to that game really quickly, just noticing that like the Bills went 9 of 15 on third down. Talk about their late down EPA relative to early down won them the game today. What are you going to do?
Well, I think it felt like all on Josh Allen's legs or to Shakir. Like, I don't think they didn't really have a great game running the ball outside of Josh Allen, right?
They really did not. No. No one runs on the Chiefs, so it's a very good rush defense.
Yeah.
Very good rush defense. Anyways, Clive.
Good times.
Appreciate it. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff this week, but what are we? It
wasn't like crazy different, but I mean, the Steelers game, that's moving the direction that we thought. That moved also towards the under.
Yeah, I think this stuff just moved a lot quicker this week.
Yeah,
I think it moved a lot quicker this week. What are you going to do? Such is life.
Let's see where the Bucks Giants game goes.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that one. I really am. I like the Bucks, man. I like Baker Mayfield. I do. This is not the price I wanted. It's not the price I wanted. That's not to say I might not bet them, because I fucking love that team. I love Baker. All right.
Later, everybody. See you next.
Have a good one. Clyde Bixby, everyone. Follow him on Twitter at ClydeBixby41 if you don't already. For those of you who are on Twitter, still going to watch the second half of this game. Fourth quarter, Austin Mock of The Athletic might have a special guest joining us shortly here as well. Seems very likely we will. Dom asks, are CFL games as fun as NFL games? I might have to make the 4-hour hike to Toronto. I would tell you this. Do not come to Toronto to watch a CFL game. It's the worst market in the entire CFL. You want to watch a CFL game? Go to Western Canada and watch, because they are electric. Saskatchewan, BC, Edmonton. These are real fans. And speaking of real fans, the man, the myth, the legend, in the dark, Feinberg. How's it going?
I had to come up for air, Rob. Has come outside, just come up for air. In seclusion in the West Wing, gets a little dank in there, so just here for some fresh air.
Yeah, you're still at I assume you're at Dad's factory sweeping the floors, and you got to watch a little bit of the first half, or what?
It's so, brother.
Wow. Wow, that joke not only ruined you, Jeff, it also ruined your connection somehow at the exact same time. At the exact same time.
Hold on. Do you have me? Am I gone?
Yeah, you're very robot. It sounds like artificial intelligence right now. It doesn't sound like I'm speaking to the real Jeff at this point.
I'm sorry about that, Rob.
No, it's okay. I actually do. I know, Jeff, I've known you for a long time. I know how seriously you take these Charger games. I actually never, ever thought I would talk to you during a Chargers game at any point here on Forward Progress. But we're here now. And
Rob, don't you know I made a deal with you? I've made it with Jason. Like, if they win this game, they go 7-3. I'm in the studio next week on Monday.
if they win this game, go 7-3, you're in the studio next week for
that's
Monday Night
right.
Football.
Hardball Bowl.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I need to jump in here quickly. Jeff, if you're connected to Wi-Fi, disconnect from Wi-Fi. And if your finger is covering the mic at the bottom of your phone, just move it.
Yeah.
I don't know. My thumbs are fat, so I don't know what they cover.
I don't know. I've never really experienced this before.
This is
It's also just a very different look at you. I've never realized what your facial hair truly looks like until now. But you have more of a stash than I've given you credit for. It's all right.
It's so late. I'm at the point in my life where I'm leaving.
And we lost them. Well, it was a good run. It was a good run. There was no way he was going to go to the. There's no way he's going to go down to the computer and
I tried.
I know you tried. I'll give you a pass for the terrible audio quality because there was some mild effort put in to get him to come. What are you going to do?
I just don't know how does he take phone calls if that's how his mic is on his.
Something weird was going on there, man. I think he's pretty soft. I know when Jeff is watching a football game, he's usually drinking like Crown and Dr. Pepper combos. I didn't think he would be in it. He seemed okay there though. He seemed like he was in fine spirits. And like he's usually in much worse condition when he joins us in the third quarter of these games.
I just wanted to get him on here so that we all knew that he would be here. Be in studio next Monday for the live watch along for the Hardball Bowl.
I actually killed the mic with the joke. Like as soon as he started laughing like that.
Yeah, it went.
Yeah.
It was good to start.
Amir asked if he's coming back. We don't actually know. We never really know. We don't. We don't actually know at any point. Okay. Dom says, have a good night, y'all. Looking forward to Circles Off on Tuesday. There's actually a very big week of Circles Off this week because we actually have a Monday episode coming out tomorrow. If you're interested in like getting really into the depths of sports betting with a group that moves a lot of big action in sports betting, you'll want to check out tomorrow's show. It's dropping. Should be able to listen to it on the way to the office or watch it on YouTube or whatever. But the professor from a group called Citadel Sports tomorrow, it's going 5 a.m. Eastern time. It's coming out early. So all you that wake up tomorrow morning can check it out. Very intelligent guy. Great stuff. Tuesday is Circle Back. There's lots to talk about this week. Tyson Paul, whether the NFL is boring or not, pass posting, Right Angle Sports Twitter account went off the rails again this week. Circle Back Tuesday. Then we got another episode on Thursday. Dan Abrams. You might know him as Dr. Raz, WSOP on Twitter. He's with us Thursday on Circle Back. So Circles Off, excuse me. Big week for Circles Off. If you're new here, you don't know what I'm talking about. Circles Off is under the Hammer umbrella. It's more educational and lifestyle content. You can check it out on YouTube, or on Twitter at Circles Off HQ. But it is a big week going on. Rob, can you deep dive the Bengals? What the fuck is going on with that team? It's very clear that their defense sucks. And I think it's abundantly clear that their head coach is also a moron. Not in like a football sense. Like Zach Taylor is a smart football guy. But right now, Lou Anarumo, their DC, Zach Taylor, it's not working. Like, you're getting a very good season from Joe Burrow right now, and they just can't do anything. In previous years, depth on defense was a big issue. It's not like they've had huge injuries this year. The defense is just not getting it done. It's been really rough. It's been really rough. In the chat, circles off pinned if you want to check it out at any point. If you're still watching on Twitter, come on over here on YouTube for the second half. Get in the chat. It's going to be an electric second half. We're cheering for a bunch of stuff right now. We're cheering for Chase Brown under receiving yards, which he has won in the first half. This is not a great game state. I'm not going to lie. Running back unders are pain. Got Will Dissly. Need him to have 2 more catches. T. Higgins is at 34 yards. We're looking for him 80 plus. Our SGP is pretty much dead. I don't regret taking it. Was looking for something. In hindsight, probably should have taken some alts with the Chargers. Still a long game to go. Got a little bit of Chargers, of a Bengals second half here. Excuse me. Not much. And then some long shots. Drew Sample, who was on in the red zone, doesn't have a target. And who else did we take? Tight end for the LA Chargers. Name is eluding me.
Stone Smart.
Stone Smart. Although we saw Tucker Fisk on the field. It's there. It's just no. It's okay. I'm not calling you out. It's nice.
No. I meant in the scroll bar. I thought it was in the scroll bar there. I thought I missed it, but it's there.
That's good. It's good. I'm not complaining.
How do we feel about adding a Hassan?
Dissly. Come on, just fucking get. I know he had to throw it in his feet because it's blown up screen. All right, go ahead. How do we feel about
adding Hassan Haskins anytime touchdown? What's the temperature check on that?
Okay, let's do this in the chat because I don't want to skew this right now. Hassan Heddick? Haskins. I was thinking Hassan Red.
Too much. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Too much wine.
I worked today, and it was Evan Williams Kentucky bourbon. That was it was a good defensive play. Good defensive play. I'm moving, and I don't want to take the liquor bottles that have like a little bit left in them. So the 4 o'clock slate, once shit was going sideways with the Bills, it was tough. Okay. Very simple question. Hassan Haskins, 12-1, anytime touchdown. If you like it, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't like it, drop a 2 in the chat. 1 if you like it, 2 if you don't. Then I'm going to quickly give my thoughts on it.
I like that. I also love the Will Dissly look as well. I wonder if I don't know if people saw this, but I think he had the highest first read rate last week. And he was like top 5 in first read rate for pass catchers. I think over the last 3 weeks, they've been using him a lot.
We just got our first one, and it came from Seth. He says the only believer. Every single other comment is a 2. My point was, you used Haskins at the goal line already. He got stuffed so hard. They're like, what are the chances they actually bring him in for goal line work again in this game?
If they're up 24-6 for the rest of the game, why would they use J.K. Dobbins, who's injury prone, Gus Edwards, who's coming off of injury? Okay, like he was hurt 2 weeks ago, and they've history of using him in the past on the goal line. I see Clueless better put Haskins last TD. If this game continues to get out of hand, we got to pick a point, and we got to go on Haskins last TD. I agree with that look, but I don't think we need to fire that yet. I don't think you can play a last TD live at Fanduel.
It's true. You can't.
Just out of curiosity, what number would you need to play? Chat, you can play along with this too on a Haskins anytime touchdown. Like, what number would you need on an anytime? Not a last, just an anytime. Is it 20-1? Is that something where you're instantly, like, not instantly clicking, but you're considering clicking? 30-1, 50-1? You're not betting it at all? Like,
I think he's like at least 5-1 to even get another carry in the game. Now. Maybe even higher than that.
But that carry would probably be at the goal line.
It probably would be.
I got excited when Wheels Up said plus 750, but he meant to put 75 to 1. So,
Gasicki, you got tangled. The feet tangled? Got the feet tangled. They're going to have to punt. Punt coming. This is tough.
Oh.
Tough to watch, man. Tough to watch.
Chargers are real. They're a real team.
Chargers. I mean, Austin Mock has been preaching in the fourth quarters every single time he's on here, every week.
Yeah.
Keeps saying it. Keep saying it.
I know you talked a little bit about San Fran, but like, obviously they're never going to fire Shanahan, but Shanahan does have a problem with like being able to like close out games. Like, you have a lead. You gotta be able to like close out games, especially against the Seattle Seahawks team that's kind of been pissing on themselves like the last 4 or 5 weeks, right? Like
that whole coaching tree has a real problem with closing out games. They're very smart coaching tree, but then they galaxy brain themselves into doing the dumbest things to end games all the time. And they're also way too conservative. It's very cowardly for the most part.
It's almost egotistical because they think that they're so like they're great play callers, but they feel like that they can be so safe with it because maybe I'm just like looking deep into this, but that's how it feels. Is like their ego is almost the thing that gets in their way. They think that they can just scheme their way out of any problem that they have on offense, but obviously that's not the case. So
yeah, it's tough to say for sure. I don't know what the reason is, but they've always done this. They've always done this.
Yeah. Are you like, at what point would you be willing? Like, I was looking at the Cardinals to win the division. They're plus 100 right now.
Yep.
Would you ever bet that at any point?
Plus 100?
Because they go in and play Seattle next week.
Yeah. Okay? Let me actually pull up the standings.
I'll pull
because
up
I never look at
know
the
the
NFL
standings.
standings at any point. So Cardinals are already leading the division 6-4, Rams 5-5, Seattle 5-5, San Fran 5-5. I don't think, like, if I were to run a full sim of that now, I would highly doubt that I would get Arizona plus 100 to be a valuable bet. I doubt it.
Yeah,
that's not to say they're not really good. I actually think that they're a little bit underrated, but no, not even money.
Yeah,
not even.
I was just looking because just looking at this NFC West has been very interesting to watch. I don't watch the stand. I don't even look at the standings. I've just been watching the prices on this because I have some Rams, but yeah.
What's my top 6 power rankings? Okay, so I do this very differently from other people. So I again want to describe my process for betting the NFL. I don't keep traditional power rankings. I like to simulate teams head to head against one another. So there's lots of different ways that you can model football. And some people like to go the route of power ratings, and that's fine. That works for them. It's this team is a 3.5. This team is a 3. Give 1.5 for home field or whatever the hell you want to give for home field, depending on the venue. I do things very differently. So it's a little bit tricky for me to go through this now and go through that exercise. But without a doubt, I'm putting Detroit, Baltimore, Buffalo, KC in my top 4. Then you have other questions. I think San Fran is overvalued in market, for one. I think Green Bay is slightly overvalued in market. I would probably put the Eagles at 5 right now. And then there's a big conversation for that 6 team where there's going to be many options that are debatable. Oddly, I mean, I am not putting Pittsburgh 6. I would not put Pittsburgh 6. I think Pittsburgh, I know this sounds crazy because of the record. People get very fixated on records and they're like, wow, this team is this and that. I don't think Pittsburgh 6. I would put them borderline top 10. that last one is tough. It really is. Like I can't put Houston there right now. I know that also sounds insane to even be mentioning Houston to most people, but I think they're going to get to a point where they're there. I think it's probably the Chargers, honestly. I think it is.
I'm just still shocked at how good the Chargers look. It's crazy how much of a difference coaching makes, and it's not just like scheme or whatever. It's just like we knew that Staley was bad, but he was so bad that it's like you don't realize how bad he is until you actually see someone who's good or competent even coaching this team.
I'm just going through these permutations of like, okay, let's say I put these teams on a neutral against each other and the game was a pick 'em. Who would I want to take? And if you gave me Chargers Pittsburgh, I'd want to take the Chargers. And if you gave me Chargers Packers, I think I'd probably want to take the Chargers. And if you give me Chargers Vikings right now, I think the Vikings have gotten back into underrated territory. They were overrated for a while. Now they're back into underrated. I'd still think I want to take the Chargers. That's a really tough one. I think it's a very clear top four. And honestly, the Niners could be in that conversation too. Yeah. At full health. But they're not right now.
Yeah. You guys were talking about Niners and Packers. If you had to, like, gun to your head, if you had to bet one to win the Super Bowl at 19-1 versus 11-1, which would you rather have right now? Niners 11-1? Because Austin put out maybe I should have saved this for an Austin came out, but he put out a tweet. I think he has the Niners making the playoffs at like 25% probability. I might be wrong. Let me just double check that. I don't want to misquote him, but and obviously that's baked into the price. But just curious, what are you not a fan of these hypotheticals that I make up in my head?
No, I don't mind them. Scott has Impredictables rankings. Those are like a little bit finicky on a week-to-week basis. Like they have San Fran 3 right now. I mean, I think if you give anyone, San Fran Buffalo neutral, everyone's taking Buffalo. San Fran KC, everyone's taking KC. San Fran Philly right now as constructed, I'm probably taking Philly. It's tough, but there's not a lot separating these teams. There's not.
Oh man,
yeah,
chat's so funny. I love them.
I love the chat. I like looking at unpredictable rankings every now and then to see like stuff that just like the New York Jets are 12th right now. I'm like,
way too high.
Ooh, yeah. I know where they. I know
12 spots too high.
Yeah, I know what they closed at. Like Arizona and the Rams are 2. Washington 15th. Like all these teams, I like way, way better than the Jets. I honestly like these teams better than Pitts. I know Washington lost to Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. I still think I like Washington better than Pittsburgh. You know?
Yeah. Are you? We were taught. This is actually a big topic of conversation on Thursday night. Are you a believer in like not a believer, but like a
Bill
trend of
a Bill Ever, like BILL?
No. I meant just the trend of Cliff Kingsbury being like just complete ass in the second half of seasons. Like there's someone charted out his EPA and it's like October 31st, like October 22nd. After that date, it's just fucking downhill. Like for all of the offenses that he's coached. That's
wow. I missed a Will Dissly catch.
Yeah,
to listen to your entire question. Seemingly lasted like 98 seconds, that question. I actually missed the entire thing. I honestly don't even know it. You have to give me like the TLDR version of that question.
Kingsbury being asked second half of season. Believer, like, how does that affect Washington? How does that affect the way you feel about Washington? You don't care about that? Like,
it is a good question. Not something that I typically have considered, or something that would work into my model number on a game.
Oh. Bang!
There you go, Dicker.
Jeff. Hashtag Dick for Jeff.
Hashtag Dick for Jeff. Jeff spelled Geoff, Geoff. Dicker the kicker.
But by the way, we did very well on the props on Thursday. All from this guy here. Didn't even. Didn't steal from anyone else either. It was a good day.
I also happen to have a good props night on Thursday.
Nice.
It's good.
Like,
very limited work, but what are you going to do? Someone asked who's the most fraudulent NFL team right now?
It depends on
it depends on because for someone to be a fraud, people have to consider them good, right?
Yes.
Like, do we consider Atlanta a fraud, or do people widely believe that Atlanta is not very good? Because in my head, I've never considered Atlanta to be good, but I feel like the perception of them is better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking maybe we use fraud as like put teams into buckets with regards to like the Super Bowl their Super Bowl price, and maybe like look in that bucket and say like, is there anyone who, like, for me, Seattle? Like, I see Seattle and I'm like, I would rather take the Falcons, the Cardinals, and the Rams over Seattle.
Yeah, but they're being priced at 55-1. Like, they're not being priced like they're any good. Like the Steelers are a fraud if you're going to give me 23-1 for them to win the Super Bowl, right? I mean, it's a cop-out answer. But like, we all collectively know it, except for Steve. I don't want to say no. We don't know anything with certainty, but it seems pretty obvious that they're the team that, if you want to go through the gauntlet in the AFC, who do you want to be facing in the first round of the playoffs? Everyone wants to face the Steelers. You don't want to face KC, the Bills, the Chargers, the Ravens. Like, no one wants to play these teams. So that's the very obvious team. And it's just because their offense is lackluster, really.
Yeah.
Is what
Marcus is saying you can say San Fran or Green Bay, which is funny because we just mentioned them.
Yeah,
and I actually was thinking about San Fran, like, because what if the red zone stuff isn't just going to fix itself when McCaffrey starts to get healthy over time? What if that's actually just a problem and I don't know if that's variance or it's just a problem with their offense right now? Like that's a big problem for them, and I don't know how it gets fixed.
Tom says most fraudulent is whoever has the worst ATS record, but it's very clearly not. Like, that's a past looking thing. That could be the team that had been overvalued by the market the most over the course of the season, but it's not necessarily forward looking. On top of that, there's so much luck involved in consider how some of these games go down at the wire. They're legitimately, at least a third of them are coin flips late in the game.
Kelly Ford on Twitter had a tweet about he does this for college football and they're great, but he does it for the NFL as well, where he flips one score games, where if the outcome were to be flipped, and I think that's like, it's always interesting to see what the standings would look like if it were flipped. I'm trying to find it right now. Here it is. Obviously, this stuff doesn't really matter, but it's just fun to see, like Kansas City winning 7 one-score games. Obviously, it's because Mahomes, but
yeah. I mean,
Giants being up there, like,
listen, this is usually a decent measure of luck. In the off season, you'll often see people start to handicap the next season by looking at some luck metrics. This is one.
Oh my
as
God.
Burrow is going. Oh,
holy smokes!
Who Burton?
He stopped running there.
Out, like Burton. I don't know if he lost in the lights or whatever the hell that was. What the fuck was that?
Get him off!
Holy
Get him
fuck,
off,
man!
Turn him off. Too bright.
He had him. He hit him in stride. No. What is that route? What did he start doing?
Took a bad route to the ball. Yeah,
came inside into the ball.
Jesus,
that's tough. That's tough.
What?
Someone's got to explain to me. So, blinded by the light, right? I learned what it's blinded by the light. Revved up like a deuce. What the fuck does that mean? Someone's got to explain the lyrics of Blinded by the Light to me. Blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce. What does revved up like a deuce mean? Deuce is
I
a
don't
car?
know.
Revved up like a car? Okay, now it's making sense. Deuce is a car. Okay.
So it also came out in the 70s, so I thought they were just doing like acid and just had no like the lyrics made no sense regardless. Like that's honestly what I always assumed. Like
I will say for the first like 10 years of hearing that song, I thought he was saying douche.
Same.
Racked up like a douche was I don't know what that meant, but that's the way I used to sing it. All right, people. I got it. I'm not a fan of the song either, Byron. But I'm not. We all did, right? Like that's that's one of the most obvious
Misheard lyrics.
Got it.
Yeah. 100%.
There's all sorts of songs I've always sung wrong for my life, and then I would read the lyrics and be like, "Holy shit, I've been singing that." But that was Another Runner in the Night. All right, now I got it. Here we are. No way this one is real. This is not a Smells Like Teen Spirit. Here we are now in containers. I guess I hear it now.
Now it's gonna be stuck in my head. What about
Here we are now in containers. That's pretty good.
What's it called? Concrete Jungle, Wet Dreams, Tomatoes.
I don't know
you know
what
that
you're referring to.
Fuck, what song?
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the usual for me. I like how Jeff never even bothered to call back in.
Yeah, he just didn't come back. He's like,
he just said, "Fuck this." Wow, what a catch!
I didn't catch that, but then not the one in the end.
What was that? That was he. Yeah. What's Higgins at right now? 66, baby. We're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Does fifth catch the over?
It's not bad. Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Don't know that song.
Yeah, you do. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Wow. It's tough, man. Tough look for the Gen Zs. I mean, granted, you give me some modern day songs, I have no fucking clue what they are either. I have no clue what they are. First and goal from the 5 here. So second half, Chargers are leading 3-0 right now. It'd be nice if we could get in the end zone here. Would be nice if we could get in. Jason's got to put himself in timeout for that one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough. It's a tough one. Jason,
what song? If you send me the song, maybe I'll know it. Like it's tough to hear someone else sing a song and then have to know that.
I mean, if you can't get it from, I'm not the best singer, but like if you cannot get it from me singing that, then you're in big trouble, man.
Okay.
You're in big trouble.
You said like Touch the Sky. Is that like Kanye West? Or?
It's Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze.
Okay, I know that song. I don't know if I can sing it like off the top of my head, but like if I hear it, I'll recognize it.
It's tough, man. Tough look.
All right.
Here's a very, very unpopular take. By the way, Jimi Hendrix, great guitar player, but I can't watch him play. I find it disturbing. Rest in peace. Same with Kurt Cobain. I can't handle watching left-handed guitar players play. I find it so awkward and uncomfortable to watch as like the Bengals one.
Have you ever tried to just flip the screen, like mirror it and flip it and then it looks like he's playing it right-handed.
Are you familiar with Michelangelo Battio?
No.
You don't know Michelangelo Battio? You never seen him hold up the two guitars like this and play one in each hand?
No, I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
Sorry,
that's
Kyle.
crazy.
Apologies. I can't watch left-handed guitar players. Makes me really upset. Jimi Hendrix, I actually believe, learned how to play. He used a right-handed guitar and played it lefty, which is really messed up.
They're using. Is that Tanner Hudson?
No, that was Drew Sample.
They're using Drew Sample like out of the backfield. It's the weirdest thing. They line up 5 wide and then like they bring him into. I don't know.
This is tough, man. Drew Sample.
We
got our Drew Sample red zone target. Unfortunately, it was 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Jesus, man.
-3. Oh, man. What are they doing with Drew Sample here? Oh my God, he got popped. This looks all-time bad for the
rather him have dropped that ball, like the 5 yards matter. 4th and goal. Could this be our Sample tutter?
Hopefully. I don't know. It's just this so far watching this Cincinnati drive has just hurt my brain when the second they hit the red zone.
Yeah, it's extremely painful. I'm sorry, my computer started lagging there because I started pulling up a bunch of emojis. Eager sent me a message saying congrats to the Argos. There we go. We're in the end zone. Okay. Didn't want it to be Chase, but we're in. We're in.
What? Did he just wipe the ball like it's a baby's bum? You can't be doing that down. You can't be doing that down fucking 3 scores. Like,
you know what though? He had it in the bag, like he was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I get it is Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, you're right.
That's Elijah Molden that's down. I think he got hit in the head. They finally got Christian Fulton back. Molden's playing slot corner for them now over Jasir Taylor. Did he get it in the head? Can't really tell.
I don't see where he got hit there.
What's the Nails' opinion on dumb sellies when getting smacked?
Like, I don't know. I've made my opinion clear. I think it was silly, but he's saying we're playing like shit. I like that one. But also at the same time, why did they not just throw the ball to Jamar Chase 4 times in the right? I never understand that.
Well, you can't become predictable, Jason. And that's what's happened to you, unfortunately.
Unpredictable?
A little bit.
Did you think that I would have that take with regards to like a celebration?
I think most of your takes are predictable now. I think the chat knows it. I think I know it. I think I know. Okay. As soon as I mention a USC player, you're going to get super excited when you're off screen. You're going to pop in. You're going to defend them. You know, you got some tendencies now, man.
Yeah, well,
break the mold.
I'll do my best to break the mold, but I'm going to defend my USC guys like Sam Darnold, who looked great today.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Okay. You're entitled.
Did you think he looked good today?
He's fine. I mean, great is like a stretch.
Okay, yeah, sorry. He looked a lot better than last week is what I'll say. Like how last week could maybe just be like an outlier and not what people expect him to do every week.
Yes. The ray gun celebration was the Vikings last week, right? Who did that celebration?
Oh.
Was it Jordan Addison? Was it Jalen Naylor?
No, it was someone on defense. Who was it?
What a celly that was. That was so good. So good. I don't know exactly who it was.
Was it It wasn't Harrison Smith, was it? Who was it? It was someone on defense for the Vikings. Now I have to look it up. Cam
Bynum.
That's what it was.
Cam Bynum. Moretto, I think, was the first to put it in here, but I usually ignore his messages. So
no, Howdy actually did beat him. Howdy beat him.
Oh, Howdy got him.
Yeah, Howdy got it first.
I don't know. This was also very jarring though, because there's a lowercase c with the rest of the caps. I don't really know how that happens, but I found it very jarring. Very jarring. Now, who is the person in the chat that absolutely smashes Chris when me and Clive talk about a game? That's what I really need to know here.
That might be a Twitter thing. Someone on Twitter might be watching and doing that.
Because, like, listen, I can't give out fake plays, right? But if I knew in my regular life, let's say I sent out a hockey play and it's going to like a bunch of different movers, right? And it's supposed to keep it quiet. Screen's not supposed to get bet. But now all of a sudden it starts getting bet at the screen. Well, I occasionally, not occasionally, but I'm going to have to, find out who's leaking the play. So
like Game of Thrones type stuff, giving people different information to see which one leaks and weed out the bad apple.
Right. I can't really do that on this show, but I'm very curious as to if someone here is smashing it and who it is.
Someone said me in the chat. I don't want to call them out, but I don't think it's them.
Because I can't wrong line someone on a live show.
Yeah.
Because then everyone wrong line everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone gets wrong line.
I promise you, it's definitely not me in the back.
I promise you that his action is not moving the lines. I would guarantee it.
If it was me, the lines would be going the other way. Like I'm like Jeff, where it's like I bet, and I'm so respected that they'll move it the other way because they're like, this guy knows fuck all, and it moves. But
see, the thing is, for FanDuel, I would get that because I think a lot of the recreational book traders watch the shows and they move. I don't think there's someone sitting in Costa Rica right now watching Forward Progress openers and saying like, yeah, we got to move off of this. Like they have enough of a sharp clientele betting into their odds. I mean, it's possible. Don't get me wrong. Good traders will watch anything. I just don't know.
I wonder if someone just watches and if they have a similar opinion to you, or they're worried it might move out. That's when they go after it. Because I guess that's the same thing, though. I don't know. Because a lot of those. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I was going to say a lot of the times, like the numbers that we give out, or often these early numbers are just never going to be available during the week, like ever. Like once they're all like that.
I know.
Denver number is probably will never be that. The 3 will never be there again this week.
It is tough. And I'm just speaking very openly now to the audience at this point. While the bots, got to get the bots out. Jason, slow on the trigger.
People are so quick with
you were slow. You were slow on the trigger there, man. We need a quicker bot removal at this point. Big 3rd and 10. Let me just watch this quickly, and then we'll. Oh, Herbie! Oh, he got destroyed.
Is that?
That was a big sack.
Okay. You know what? Maybe this is a game. Maybe the Bengals are going to come back here.
What would I need to bet Bengals right now is the real question. How many times do they come back and win this game? Maybe like 1 in 8 type of thing. Maybe less. It is the Chargers, right? Different coaching staff.
That's the thing. Chargers. That's my thought process. Like, is this the same Chargers? We're going to see if this is the same Chargers.
This was the second half, angle, right?
Yeah.
Chargers is, look at this punt, too. Chargers are
charging. Yeah.
And went out of bounds at midfield. Oh, my God. But in regards to doing the Sunday night show, right? I never give myself the ability to get down on the stuff, which I'm okay to sacrifice that right now. But it does kind of suck because I've been looking at what the market looks like on Sunday night. Could get a decent pop. Pop. I'm just saying, just speaking.
While you were speaking, the Bengals moved from plus 500 to plus 370 on FanDuel. So
you think I moved that? You think it was my words?
No. That's not what I meant at all. I meant
well, it seemed like that's what you were implying.
No, we were just talking about that before, and it's like if we were close to 8-1, 5-1 is relatively close to 8. Like you were decently close, and then gone.
The reality is not that I'm going to do this, especially not live on air. I'm not pulling a Fezzik here. The reality is most of the times in these types of markets, if you devig them, there's not much hold on the favorite, and all the hold is on the dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm getting at? It's usually
in the early markets
or in these big money line markets.
Oh,
like,
I see. Sorry.
It's hard to find. I'm not saying it can't happen, but more often than not, you're not going to find like a plus EV price on the team that's trailing in the game, because everyone wants to bet the team that's trailing. Game.
Yes.
Momentum, this and that, right?
Yeah.
Lots of questions. I like answering questions. Don't you need consensus with your partners before making bets on Sunday? No. Oftentimes I'll actually disagree. We help each other get good numbers on games is what it comes down to. But I do some stuff with Suma on the side, a couple other silent partners, and we don't all agree on every game. There'll be often times where we don't agree on a game and we actually just oppose one another instead. But it's very complex. Don't really want to talk too much about how it goes, but oftentimes, there'll be scenarios where we're not rooting with one another. For example, I didn't have any Colts today, but my partners did have Colts. It's fine. They won. I didn't get anything on the game.
I wonder. We talked a lot about on the Thursday show about the Paul and Tyson fight. And I wonder how many people played Jake Paul as a result of that stream. Because I think we were all very much pro Jake Paul in that stream. I also have I have a couple questions with that I want to ask, but I'm going to save them for circle back tomorrow. So
got it.
If you want to, yeah.
Well, I remember. So I was still Mayweather McGregor was what year? Do you remember which year it was?
2017.
Okay, I was still. Okay. It was my buddy's wedding the night of that fight. What was it? What was the date?
I want to say it was late August 2017.
Yeah, you might be right. It was either 2017. You got it.
August 26, 2017. When it comes to McGregor stuff,
yeah, I was still consulting for a book at that time, and I was consulting in a commercial capacity. So I was one of the guys responsible for trying to bring in as much revenue as possible for the book. And you constantly have conversations with the trading team over and over. And at that time, the conversation was, we are going to get destroyed if McGregor wins this fight. Do you want us to like balance the liability? And they were like, my thing was like, okay, what do you guys make the fight? What do you think is going to happen? What are the true? And everyone was like, oh, this is insanely priced. Like people are betting McGregor at 2-1 when we could, we should realistically be offering him at like 20-1, higher than that, but people are willing to bet the 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, these are like the rare opportunities for a sharp bettor where there actually is so much public money. Like people use the public money in NFL all the time. Public money's on this. Public money's not moving shit in the NFL. It's not. It's just a drop in the bucket compared to the sharp money. Plus, bookmakers are building up positions based off of the sharp bets that are coming in. But it was actually pretty crazy. And in hindsight, like I did not go large on Jake Paul in this fight. I bet some Paul by decision. I bet some Jake Paul. It's already a massive regret of mine. Yeah. I just didn't know how to price it, basically, when it came down to it.
I was just worried of the scam of like them maybe potentially having like going to a draw. So I only bet this like Jake Paul. And that's my biggest, it might be my biggest betting regret of my life, not betting him to win by decision, because hindsight, we talked about this on the show, so it's not really hindsight, but like looking back now, like it was clear that was just the most obvious thing. And one of my friends who's square, very square, but like did a very smart thing. He was watching that fight. He's
don't talk about Johnny like that.
Okay. No, but one of my buddies, he's like, I was watching the fight with, he's like, I'm just gonna like bet decision, and he just bet decision every single round after the second round because he saw where the fight was going, and it's like no one's doing anything. I'm like, you know what? I probably should have came in one with you, but I was working through the Netflix issues, all that stuff. I was rattled during that.
Wow!
Wide open.
Hello. T. Higgins, hit the ladders. All of the ladders have been. This is me climbing the ladder. You see how I'm climbing the ladder?
I'm gonna lose my fantasy matchup. I know no one cares, but that's crazy.
Well, I'm sorry, Jason. Okay, you did it yourself. I was gonna have to give you the quick boot. You said the F word. That's done. All right. The ladders have been hit. That's a good start. We need one more Disley catch, and now this score line is in a good range. Chase Brown, 3 for 9. Got a lot of room to work with there. I don't feel like we're going to get a Drew Sample TD. But you know what? Guy got a red zone target. Actually, funny enough, I'm looking at the box score right now. Drew Sample did not get a red zone target. He has one rush for -4 yards because it was a backwards pass. Crazy game. The thing is, it's kind of a joke, but Feinberg, he might blame me. He might never come on the stream again.
I might have mushed it by saying he's going to be on the stream on Monday because it's contingent on them winning this game.
Oh yeah, this is a big problem.
We need him to come regardless, though.
Problem.
I can't text him, but you can.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that right now.
Okay.
He recently, I messaged him like 2 hours ago before the game saying bolt up, and he liked it like 30 minutes ago. But now I actually feel like this could be really bad.
A disaster.
It's really tough. I'm trying to lock in the content for Circle Back tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much from this past week, man. Like, I don't have time to do a 6-hour show, but I could do a 6-hour show.
Yeah,
I don't have time to. But there are some beauties this week. True beauties.
Oh man, I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. I'm looking at the list right now, and that's just I can tell it's going to be a career game for
It's going to be
tomorrow.
A show.
Yeah. I just wonder how he's going to be if he loses here. Like if the Chargers lose. What's his attitude? Is he might not come in.
No, he'll be there. He will not miss this show. He wouldn't miss it. That's easily a topic. Could be. But there's so many. You guys don't understand. There's so many this week. I mean, I don't think
this is going to make the cut, but the LeBron one of him saying that he got a rebound because someone was yelling at him for a parlay. That was fully fucking made up. And I need to find the tape of that because I guarantee you there was no one yelling that. And he just made that shit up because that's what LeBron does. Conspiracy theorist,
LeBron is a big
notorious makeup guy.
Wanker like that, man.
Yeah. Like
wanker's the best word I could think of, but
how does he know the guy had a parlay? How is he supposed to know that?
Well, maybe the guy yelled he had a parlay. He's like, LeBron, I got a parlay. I need you to get one more rebound. It doesn't seem like something that somebody would yell, but you don't know for sure. If I had a parlay and I needed him to get one more rebound, I wouldn't give him all the information.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd be like,
LeBron, I needed one more rebound to win a bet or something like that. I guess he could have said win my parlay, but he is, LeBron is no bueno. I mean, a great player. Don't get me wrong.
He's just cringe. He's like Drake. He's like cringe, you know?
Cringe. Big time cringe.
Yeah. Is that like is that a Gen Z word?
What?
Or is that cringe? Cringy?
I don't know. I don't like to lump words into baskets.
Fair. Words are for everyone.
Yeah. That's it, man.
Okay, well, apparently I'm fake news guy because the guy who yelled at LeBron about the parlay shared the video on Twitter. Okay, well, sorry.
Well, look at this. Jason Cotton.
Someone send me the clip. I don't believe that. that Darius Davis?
Sure is. The guy, like, that pass was a couple of yards behind him. Oh, man. This is electric.
I don't think that made the cut, but.
What are the chances that Cincinnati loses this game by going for a 2-point conversion? Just like they did against the Ravens. Kind of want that to happen. Got to give Mike Lombardi one win in a day, you know?
What would you give me the no on that?
I'm not offering. I can't book wagers. trying to get me to admit that I'm a bookmaker? Come on, man.
Well, no, if you're allowed to do it between friends. Is that not a thing? We're friends. We can. It's not bookmaking. It's making a friendly bet between two people.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Like, what are you trying to do, man?
No, but I'm pretty sure
you're gonna tag the CIA on Twitter now, or the RCMP?
No.
Like, what's
no.
here?
No.
By the way, Ladd McConkey catches this ball. Geno Stone tackles him, like, not even on the white out of bounds, but like the green out of bounds. I don't even know. You know, Jason, you don't look like a narc, but you have a lot of narc-like tendencies.
Like what?
Like if they were gonna do Turner's down on the field, that'd be no bueno for the defense. They don't have a lot of depth. DJ Turner replacing the injured Dax Hill.
It might just be like, maybe he's just winded. No, he landed on his shoulder pretty rough there.
Ooh,
good tip.
You ever watch 21 Jump Street?
Yeah. Wait, which one? The old one?
There's 21 and 22.
No, there was a TV series.
The Channing Tatum ones. Obviously, I'm not talking about the old ones. Come on, man.
I don't know. That's your time, no?
No, it's not my time. It's not my time. We're a decade apart. It's not like we're 3 decades apart. I'm not as old as your father, if that's what you're insinuating.
No, but that show came out like, I don't know. Anyways. Wait, why are you asking if I know about 21 Jump Street? Because I'm a narc? Is that what you're saying? Like, I was.
Yeah, it was the second one they went to the street. Yeah.
23 Jump Street, infiltrate the hammer, find the supplier.
That's it. Got it. What can we use instead of supplier? Fuck, we should film like a little sketch about that.
Infiltrate the hammer. Find the crosser. I don't know.
No. I don't know. Well, that idea failed. It was good. It was good in theory. Couldn't come up with clever. Process. After about 10 seconds or so, I'm kind of done with it. It's got to hammer find the edge. I mean, I get it, but now that I know it's find the supplier, we got to find something find the modeler.
Find the bookmaker. Find the
infiltrate.
Find the bookie. Find the bad bet. Infiltrate find the Chris hitter.
Find the kiosk stuffer. It's pretty easily Joey Kaddish.
Yeah.
Well, it was good in theory.
It worked.
It was fun while it lasted.
SoFi Stadium's so nice, by the way, but Chargers is going to charge.
The 9-legger. Chargers going to charge. I mean, listen, that was a good pass to McConkey, though. That oh, that's bad. Oh, what broke through. Wow, what a run. Dobbins.
Hassan, what's his name?
No, that Dobbins run right there ensured that Hassan Haskins does not see the field again tonight.
It's 23-1 now.
Yeah, I mean, again,
if you like it, it's 12-1.
Seriously, here's for the chat. What is the fair value on Hassan Haskins getting another carry in this game? Let's start there. Forget about any time touchdown for a second. What is the fair value that he touches the ball again in this game? because he got 2 goal line carries. He got stuffed on both of them.
Yep.
It's got to be at least 10-1 that he gets another touch. At least 10-1.
Okay. Yeah, I like the way Sam's thinking there. I saw him 12-1 now, 15 minutes later, 23-1. Boom, value. I agree. I agree.
Boom, value. All right.
I have a no sweat bet, so just for the memes, you might as well just toss it on there.
Yeah, if you got a no sweat bet, why not? Might as well use it on something.
Of course.
Yeah. If I had a no sweat bet right now, I would go to like the entertainment props and bet that Jizzy J is a narc.
Can we get that on FanDuel?
At minus 500. And that would be serious value.
One in the chat if I'm a narc. I don't think I'm a narc. That's so crazy. What have I done that made me a narc? That's crazy. I don't know.
You tried to get me to book illegal wagers live on air.
No, but you're not booking. We're making an agreement between two.
If I'm taking your bet, I'm booking the bet.
I'm also taking your bet though, so I would also be implicated as well.
You tried to play. Well, I'm going to charge you vig. I'm not going to take the bet for free. So they make me a bookie.
Why?
No.
Yeah, but wait, but that's not what I said. That was your choice to make yourself a.
Yeah, I want to be the host. I want the house edge. I don't want to bet on a 50-50 coin flip with you. I want you to bet into the house.
That's not how. No. A sting operation.
All right. I'm done with this conversation. Austin Mock, The Athletic, fourth quarter. What's going on?
Thought we were going to get a blowout, but little Grey Cup blowout action. Like, I'm surprised the stream's even going on tonight.
I know, man. Right when I get off air tonight, me and the other 28 Argos fans in Toronto gonna have a huge part. No, listen, just because I'm not a CFL fan doesn't mean that there aren't CFL fans. I know that a lot of people were watching the game today. A lot of people watching the Jonas Brothers at the half, stuff like that. But yeah, I try to get into the CFL every year. There's just not enough games. And once college football and NFL start, you actually, Austin, like you used to model CFL, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we used to trade numbers on that years. Whatever year, I think it was Toronto won it in the snowstorm. They won the Grey Cup in the snowstorm, like 2017 or 18, maybe somewhere around there. Maybe even earlier than that. I don't know.
Oh my God! Did Herbert just fumble?
I think he looked like he was down. It was very.
The Gazelle looked like he was down.
Very close.
It's tough. I don't know, Jim. I don't know, Jay. I don't know, Jay. I think they. What do they do? What do they call? I missed the call. Okay, the ball. It's out, dude. That's out. Got kneed out.
God.
First it was hit loose, then somehow his leg stays up, and it got.
My! Someone needs to check on Jeff. Does anyone have Jeff's wife's number to make sure that he's okay? Just like a wellness check. Wellness check.
I would not be calling the Feinberg home right now. I'll tell you. I would not be calling the Feinberg home. I have to see this guy tomorrow, man. He's going to be in a bad mood.
Man.
Wow.
Do I bring Chargers jerseys to the office tomorrow? And we all wear Chargers jerseys when Jeff comes?
It might be too soon. We know that they're blowing this, right?
Yeah.
We know they're blowing this. What's the live price on Cincinnati? Just so that you're aware of what happens when they ultimately blow this. It's
locked.
It's gonna be like 2-1.
It's locked right now. I'll pull it up when it's not locked.
Oh my God, Burrow! Wow, no. Please be a flag on the Bengals. Not Brown, of all people. Not Brown.
This game is, this is the typical Chargers game. Like,
this is fucking classic, man.
Which I don't even like.
Classic.
Obviously they're going to have some big plays on defense, but like offensively, they've like Herbert's made some good throws. Like the Bengals have actually made some like decent plays in this half.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine what Super Square is thinking in the chat right now. He's not going to be very happy.
God,
we lost.
painful.
We lost it. That's at least a 30-yard pass to Brown.
35.
Well, damn. That was looking so good. 3 for 9. I did not expect an explosive purely because Derwin James missed the tackle there. I don't even know what to say. I'm just in a lot of pain right now. I'm in a lot of pain.
I know the NFL does this from time to time, but like the Chargers played a near flawless first half, and it took a quarter for this game to completely flip upside down. Man,
certain teams are very good when trailing. I consider the Bengals to be one of those teams.
Yeah.
They know how to utilize the clock. Like they move quickly. They can throw downfield.
Well, they don't have to change what they do. Like they throw so much on offense anyway that it's just like keep running your normal offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you have to have Russell Wilson drop back 35 times to stage a comeback here.
I think it was Denzel Perryman that got hurt on the last play. So now you got some injuries on the Chargers D as well.
And they are not deep either.
No.
Man.
2 fouls on the Bengals.
What a game.
Yep.
Are you a believer in the Steelers?
No. No, let me actually rephrase. Let me rephrase. You have to think probabilistically in everything, right? Steelers could win. They could go far in the playoffs. I just don't. I think it's probably less likely than most other people would think after today.
Yeah, I think I know. Like one, obviously Tucker missed kicks, but everybody was moving the ball on the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And now they did move the ball on them. They just can't. They don't have the like Russ is not good enough, and they don't have the like red zone target to like score points. And that'll be their undoing. Like it happens. Like the defense is good, but yeah, I'm still not. Despite them being 8-2 and leading the AFC North by 2 games, somehow they're Mike Tomlin. You know, how many coaches are above Mike Tomlin on your list?
A lot, but I do think that he still manages to get a lot out of his team. I went from thinking that he was like a very overrated coach to thinking that he was an underrated coach. And then like after a while, it's like,
I don't know. He doesn't like, there's definitely room for him to grow, but I don't know. There's something about their defense that like he's a defensive guy. They continue to have, I know they have good players, but like whether it's finding good guys or whatnot, the development and the like motivation definitely has something. Something's there.
There's definitely something there. For the problem that I have with Tomlin is I often lump him in with other coaches that are similar, but I shouldn't lump him in with those coaches. Like you get this is gonna sound really dumb for me to say because Tomlin's been in the league for so long, but like I consider like the Antonio Pierces and Gerard Mayos to be Mike Tomlin style coaches, right? Old school, trust the defense, run the ball, win the turnover battle. He's not that though. And I really have to get that out of my head. And you know, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, remember it was against the Cowboys. Remember the 2-point conversion? He was like they went for it, I think 6 times, and they somehow went 0 for 6 and lost. And then he kind of turtled it a little bit after there. But also their offense has been so bad for like 5 years that I don't really know if it's beneficial for them to not play the like field position, like grind it out. There's obviously some steps to go to that he can make, but I don't think he's terrible in those like game management situations.
Yeah. The chat has called me out on this because I listed only black coaches.
I didn't bring it up. I knew somebody would.
Wow, Jamar Chase.
Oh.
Hello, Burrow. Well,
Insane.
If Cincy second half doesn't win, I'm not going to be happy. I'll tell you right now, I will not be happy. God, I love the NFL. I can throw D'Amico Ryans in there too, not because of his skin color, but because of the similarities. Who's the closest white comparable to that? It's not that I'm like, who is?
I think people would put Harbaugh in that, but I think he's much more tactically than we give him credit for.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't put him in that personally.
Yeah. But I think people would, just like he's that weird, like rah type guy.
Going through the coaches right now, it ain't coming to me. Like the difference is most of the coaches that I named, they're
like if it's
Vrabel would be in there.
Vrabel
would be in there. Yeah. He's not in the league. That's why Vrabel would be the guy. But the rest of these guys, like definitely not Sirianni. Sirianni has like different tendencies. He's way more aggressive on 2-point conversions, goes 4th and 1. Like he has, to me, that's not even in the same boat. Vrabel's the guy, the best comp.
Yeah.
Vrabel's the best comp.
I wouldn't even like Gerard Mayo is a tough one. You know, we're not even a year in. Pierce is like, that's such a weird, and I think it also goes like, this is like the survivorship bias a little bit in a way of like, or just survival of the fittest, in that these type of coaches don't usually win. And that's why the league has so few of them. Like Vrabel was pretty decent. Like he had a pretty decent run and he, you know, ultimately got axed. So
Dan Campbell? No, it can't be Campbell. What about Dan Quinn? Dan Quinn would be maybe in there.
Yeah, he could be in there. I was like, Campbell's in the Harbaugh category for me. Like they're the rah-rah, like quirky guys a little bit, but like they are good football minds. Pete Carroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one that fits that mold.
Again, it's like if you went back and went into like the late 2000s hires and you just went through those, which is funny because that's when Tomlin was hired. That's probably where you find those guys.
One of the members of the chat, one of the nails, who has asked not to be named, so I won't name, has sent a behind-the-scenes screenshot right now of a $25 parlay, SGP, on Will Dissly under 4.5 receptions, currently at 4, paired with Will Dissly 80-plus yards, which is currently at 80. This is currently a winning parlay.
Sheesh.
It would pay $14,000. Here's the screenshot.
Man.
I have Dissly over on receptions.
You can't be a scumbag here and screw the chat. You can't be rooting against chat.
I almost don't even want to react. I almost don't even want to react.
You can't be a scumbag. You can't be the scumbag here.
That is an enormous payout for that. And it's because his A-dot was so low this year that it is like the absurdly inversely coordinated.
Man. What a sweat here.
That is a sweat.
And the problem is he's the second most targeted receiver tonight. So like it is a huge sweat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got 5 targets tonight. It's going to be tough. I mean, listen, For the guy rooting for 14K, if you ever wanted to see an injury in the NFL.
just a little like something small. Rolled ankle.
Yeah.
Back next week.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. A little as they call it, a stinger, you know?
Yeah.
A stinger.
Gosh, what number is he?
He's like the
81.
81.
Right. 81.
Well, that one catch, I think it was his catch when they had the 3 tight ends and the 4 birds touchdown.
Yeah, there's lots of things that you could cheer for that are not just a pure injury. Dehydration is one. Cramp.
Gosh, these guys are dry. Yeah, cramp would be a good one.
Yeah, diarrhea.
Defenders are dropping like Defenders are dropping like flies in this game, though.
Oh, that's their second defensive tackle. That's BJ Hill, looks like. And Rankins was inactive today as well.
Yeah, it's both of these defenses are dragging right now.
Running the ball right up the middle, not a bad idea.
This is a Jim Harbaugh, like 9-minute and 30-second, like 14-play drive for a touchdown or a field goal to win or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. We talked, I don't know if it was like last week, a couple weeks ago, about I think the Chargers were 41-1 to win the AFC or something like that. We were talking about how, because I think the Bengals were priced ahead of them. Steelers were, I was like halfway through the second quarter. I was like, oh, I guess we're going to talk about how great that advice was. And now wellness check on Jeff instead. How quickly it changed.
The NFL's crazy, man. It really is. People never learn. They never learn their lessons. Jason called up Jeff, said, why don't you come on? Chargers are going to win. I mean, this all really comes back onto Jason at the end of the day. Like, he is the one that did this.
I made us lock in content with Jeff for the Monday Night Football game, the Harbaugh Bowl. He said, only if they win. And I said, I'm locking it in here. And
yep.
Here we are.
While we're at a break here, Revolut me, ask him about Giants QB situation, ask about Drew Lock's status. Do you know anything about whether or not it'll be Daniel Jones or Drew Lock this upcoming week?
I believe there will be a quarterback change. That's what I would bet on right now. There's some like contractually motivation reasons for the Giants to not play Daniel Jones as well. So that would be my guess. I don't know if they're gonna, when they announce that, anything's possible, after the Colts last week. But that would be my guess. I would assume there's a quarterback change. Because, like, again, though, what are you what you got in Daniel Jones? We've known this for how many years now? Plus the money side of it as well. So I do believe there will be a change.
Yeah. He's also bad. That's a pretty good reason.
Well, that's I like, again, that win against that like fraudulent Vikings team, like, I don't want to say change the course of the Giants for a couple years, but like it kind of did.
Yeah.
Because it was like, wow. And like that was Dable's first year, if I remember correctly. And it was like, yo, he like was running the ball. This is exciting. And then here we are. I think he has a higher cap hit than Josh Allen this year. So
Ravens play the Chargers next week on Monday Night Football. And at one point in this game, I was really thinking that, because I think the look ahead was 3. And I thought if the Chargers blow at the Bengals, it'll come off that. And it'll make for a pretty decent sized bet on the Ravens, I think. But I don't know that we're going to get there anymore now. I think the Chargers are like, there's going to be a lot of skepticism around them if they don't end up holding on for this game.
Yeah. It's so funny how that, like, I'm not saying one game shouldn't matter, but it is funny how the like perception of like a blowout, like we've talked in the past. It's like, I hope they blow them out and keep this going so we get a better price against them the next week. It's funny how that can really swing things. But yeah, that game feels like it lands on 3. But
how is this an incomplete pass and not a backwards pass? I would like to watch this play one more time. Was a ball traveling forwards? It's close. I don't think it was.
Yeah. Those are ones that they'll. It's like you can't even review it because it goes, like 2 feet before it's knocked down? I just can't believe the Chargers are going to blow this. I mean, it's the Chargers, but
I can't tell if BJ Hill is in the game right now. But as soon as he went down, I mean, the Chargers could have gone right up to pounding the rock up the middle again. So then they've gone pass, and now they're very likely going to pass on third. Oh, that's offside. That's offside.
You know, they fell victim to one of the best halves I've ever seen out of a quarterback. That's what happened. You know, you fall in love with it. I mean, he was slinging it. That was about as good as you can play quarterback. I know the Bengals defense is not good, but
I'm just looking up NFL passing yards leaders right now. Burrow's got a lead in passing, right? Like yards.
No,
even
he's
going into this game?
I think Geno has him beat. Baker's like oddly up there because I came on Forward Progress.
Oh my God, Lamar leads.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Burrow's like, I don't know if how far is he back? Like 200 yards or something like that?
204 going into today.
Yeah.
204
so 276.
So he's leading
in
now.
this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that was a pick you gave as a future.
13-1. Burrow to lead the league in passing yards. Mainly because that was like, I don't know, it might have been week 3 or week 4 because of how bad this defense was. And they were going to have to play in these type of games. So that was, and I knew they would be able to throw the ball.
We might actually have to get you back on Forward Progress Best Bets because all we do is lose every week, like every one of us.
The record.
I think we went 0-4 again this week. Pretty certain we did.
You know, I will say, not to defend, because like I also have a Best Bets article. It is very difficult. Definitely, like you guys, like one. I know you're not giving out only one bet, but like one pick a week, like it's not that crazy to have a bad run.
Well, yeah, I agree. It's also, in hindsight, we picked the worst possible day to do a Best Bet show. We do Wednesday at 3 p.m. Right. It's like half of the first practice reports are in, half of them aren't in yet. It is quite literally the only time that I don't want to be placing bets. I don't want to say quite literally, but it's bad. Next year there'll be some changes, but we're in it for the long haul now. Just got to own the record. It is what it is at this point.
And like Wednesday injury reports, definitely like as you get into the second half of the year, are like kind of, they're not worthless, but like they mean a little bit less because guys are taking so many like vet days and whatnot.
Yeah, it's
our pal Suma. He was he's been in a rough one. You lose like 8 straight. That's hard to do.
I know.
Just unlucky.
It's kind of a running joke now that his best bet is going to lose. It's kind of a running joke.
He needs to fade himself. See if he can get a.
He's got to fade
see
himself.
if he can get a win.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the challenges of doing. I mean, I think we're just gonna name it worst bets. Honestly, I know we're gonna. No, but it's been a bad one. It's been a bad one. I hate losing. I just hate losing. It also is it also especially sucks when that bet loses and I have a winning week. It sounds really dumb.
Yeah,
I can appreciate how dumb this sounds to people. There are weeks where I win a lot and that bet loses, and I'm rattled by that bet losing.
Yeah. You just got to stare down that 0-1, you know? It's
true. We should really be selling ourselves, though. Any streak is a good streak. I love that. I mean, if you've been fading this run, you're rich at this point. Some better bets on Forward Progress. I honestly actually cringe at having to call it best bets, but it's such a highly searched keyword that I can't do anything other than that. That was a bad throw. Burrow made a very bad throw. Don't know is it a free play? What was that? The idea behind that?
Yeah. You know, so Burrow's good, but like there are some moments where like either taking sacks or like sometimes the ball just doesn't look good out of his hand. Like there's some moment he has like a couple for being like one of the top 5-6 guys in the league. Like he has those moments where I'm like, what was that?
People are going to be upset. 100% roughing the passer every single time will be called a million times whenever you land directly on the quarterback like that with your head in their sternum.
Yeah.
It's in real time. I didn't see that. Again, I can't wait for the Twitter tweets of like, are we playing football? Are we playing two-hand touch or whatever? It's the rule. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but by letter of the law, that's as clear a roughing of the passer as it gets.
Who got hurt by that? Was that Rodgers? Was that rule put in for Rodgers?
Who got hurt by that? That's
because I think that's the like the little like hand to the like top of the helmet ones are annoying. But I can at least get that from like that's like a normal, like the hit wasn't late. It just annoys me. I don't know. That one annoys me more than like the taps on the helmet for some reason. I don't know why.
It was Rodgers' collarbone is what Daniel Cook in the chat is saying. And Burrow's going to lose about 100. Oh, he threw it away. Good throwaway because there was a receiver there as well. Or else he would have lost a lot. The Anthony Barr rule. Never forget.
Yeah.
I've had very easily forgotten that. I thought it would have been prototypical pass rusher David Onyemata that rule was created for. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was. Did you think the Hendrickson one in the first half was a roughing?
I mean, I didn't. I probably missed it or didn't get a clear look.
It was like the horse collar. I don't know if you. My thing.
Where he grabbed. I thought that was roughing.
He was late, but like I don't know if you have the sound on, but like Collinsworth and I forget who the NBC ref analyst. They're like,
Terry
you're allowed to grab.
Yeah.
They're like, you're allowed to grab the horse collar in the pocket. I was like, I don't think it was that. It was like 3 seconds.
It wasn't.
After
he pulled him to the ground after the play. They didn't call him for you can horse collar the quarterback in the pocket.
Yeah,
but it was so late. Burrow, man.
That's what
Look at this run. Hello.
I was confused. They were not like mentioning the lateness. I'm like, that's what that flag was thrown for. There was no reason to drag him.
No, it was 100% that. 100% that. Without a doubt. And yes, I thought it was a penalty.
Yeah.
It's just too far after the play to pull the guy to the ground. Like it's called unnecessary roughness. That is
right.
It was the most unnecessary play.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah, I thought it was off. And like Hendrickson was like losing his mind. I was like, dude, it was literally like 2 seconds after he threw the ball. Like
Yeah.
God, Chargers, man. I thought Harbaugh would change it, but I guess not. The Chargers will always Charger.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, there's still time. Yet. Even still though, like if you're a Chargers fan, like Jeff is feeling the like PTSD of this. Like you're not running away from it. And every big lead from now on, you're just always going to feel it.
If this is going to be a tutter, we want it to be Drew Sample. That's what we want.
All I'm thinking about is Will Dissly's not on the field, so that guy's living a good life here.
He just wants the Bengals to run out the clock. It's like, can we take it all the way down to 0 somehow? Oh, man.
Oh, all right. What do we got? Field goal here?
That ball needed to be thrown a little bit lower there. That was not a great throw. Oh. $48-yarder. It's no gimme. Oh, missed it.
Chargers are alive.
Wow, McPherson. No good.
you
Burrow's got to
have
do
Baker?
everything by himself, man. It's the problem with Joe. Like, got to do everything himself.
I have a question for you guys. The Chargers, I just thought about this like right now. They're kind of built like unintentionally, but like the Chiefs and the Bills with how they play, where their defense has been exceptionally well. Their entire offense runs through their quarterback, and they have a good ground game. I know it sounds like very simplistic, but like their pass catching group is, I mean, just a bunch of names thrown together.
Is there a point coming here?
Do you feel like they're like a Chiefs light or like in the build? I'm not saying that like they are the Chiefs, but like the build of the team.
Seemed like you tried to draw that comparison.
I'm not.
By calling them a Chiefs light, you're basically drawing a comparison to the Chiefs.
Yes, correct. But I'm not calling them the Chiefs. It's a different.
Well, you basically did.
I guess. Okay.
I would say you need to throw, not this year necessarily, but the Ravens have been that way for a while.
That's true.
I would agree. This was supposed to be like a rebuilding year for them to get the like cap right.
Yeah. Nobody liked them going into the year. People were fading them hard.
But again, this is, I think, kind of to your point, Jason, is like the Chiefs had this 2 years ago. They traded Tyreek Hill, and it was like, oh, who are you going to throw to outside of Kelsey? And then again last year. And then the Bills did it with Stephon Diggs. I know they traded for Cooper, but like, I'm not saying that like wide receivers are overrated, but like you do need to have an offensive line. You need you need it. Like, look at the Bengals this year. They do not have a defense, and they are like, they're 4-6. They're in a coin flip here with 6 minutes left. So I think there's something to that. And that's like probably the optimal way to build right now, because wide receivers are super expensive too.
Yeah. And they're almost, I don't want to say they're like a dime a dozen, but
it's going to come back with a hold, right? It's got to come back. The flag was in the offensive backfield. It looked very much like they could have called the holding many times. I like this. Jason's new segment, Circle Talk. We should do that for TikTok, honestly.
I don't get that. Just I
What do you
talk, that's it.
Well, they're just joking because you talked in a circle for a while there. Like you talked and you failed to get to a point at any point.
I feel like what I was trying to say got across to Austin at the very
So you know if you draw a circle, right? How many points are in a circle?
an infinite amount of points.
You sure about that? You studied circles before? Studied basic shapes? Geometry?
Yes. We'll bring in Plus TV on this debate. He would know.
Oh man, we'll be here for an hour.
Yeah, please don't. Oh, who dropped this? McConkey.
McConkey.
Come on, lad, man.
That's the thing. Like the Chargers, like I feel like they haven't played. The defense has not been there, but like the offense has had opportunities here. They just can't get out of their own way a bit.
No matter which regime it is, and it's unfair. It's actually unfair to say this because the Chargers have avoided this game all year for the most part. Well, I guess the Cardinals game in prime time was one where you could be like, Jalen Reagor fumbled up the end zone. That one was a weird one. But it just feels like they're destined for these types of games. What a hit. I need to once again ask, after watching this return, do the Bengals not have someone on their roster that is more equipped to return punts than Trenton Irwin?
You know what I think it is?
He's got no more. Like, they just want his hands to catch the ball.
Yeah, that's what it's got to be.
Because this guy has like he's never going to juke anyone ever.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if like I don't like you only have 53 guys, so like how many guys are actually like in the running, if you will, to return punts? And so if they're not like good at tracking the ball, then like you're in a world of hurt. So
it's true.
It's an underrated part. Maybe like special teams are they, like I did a like I looked at like 2009 Chargers. This is funny. That's the Chargers. They had like over the last 20 years had like one of the better offenses, good defense as well, like of every team over the last 20 years, but they had like the worst special teams ever. And they went like 7-9 or something like that with like, it was the Phillip Rivers Chargers special. So I think that's kind of what the Bengals got going on. Just catch the ball and then let Joey B take over.
Yeah. Well, the chat is right. Charlie Jones would normally be their kick returner and their punt returner. Like, how about someone like Travion Williams? He's their third string running back. He's got some hands.
Maybe he can't catch. Punts are a different world, you know?
It's true. It's just, for me, like Trenton Irwin is...
You know, Vlad Guerrero Jr. can catch at first base. You want him in the outfield? You know what I mean?
I don't know if I see the connection, but...
No, I'm saying like easy throws out of the backfield. He can catch, but like you're throwing the high punt. You know, it's a harder.
I see where you're
harder
going. I see where you're going with this. I do see where you're going with this. I am getting sent so many texts of different tweets that have happened tonight. This is the problem with Circle Back now. I spend so much time having to review stuff.
There's too much content out there, man.
There's too much content.
Just comes right to your doorstep. Justin Herbert is somehow 15 of 30 in this game. That blows my mind. Has he not completed a pass in the second half?
242 and 2 tutters. Well, no matter what happens with Will Dissly, someone's going to be happy. Other people will not. But didn't have one that... Oh, wow. What a catch by Higgins, man. That was a great reaction catch. Great reaction catch. Oh,
gosh.
Looked like a big sneeze there.
Yeah. Yeah, the world's full. The cold and flu season is upon us. My first.
When you got to mute the mic, it's a big one.
Yeah. not trying to blow out people's eardrums if they got headphones in, like yourself. What is this live right now? We're still locked. Put up a price. All right, there you go. Bengals are minus 215. Over.
Oh, he's in. Oh. They just have whatever they want. My only regret is not playing bigger ladders on Higgins now. This is the beauty of sports betting. You can make some great bets and win, and you still have regrets. It's
never good enough, It's never good enough. Yeah, Chargers defense, just injuries. They've been on the field the whole second half too. That hasn't helped. And they've missed a couple sacks. They got those sacks in the first half.
You know what, Matt? I don't even have a good answer for you, my man. I don't have a good answer for this. I'm thinking back on it now. I mean, it could have been this Evan Williams Kentucky straight bourbon that I was drinking during the Bills game today. I don't even know where this bottle came from. I don't think I bought this myself. I have no idea. No idea. They say hindsight is 20/20, but I don't even have 20/20. So it can't be for me. There's no way. Even with my glasses, I don't have 20/20. This passing game is carving them up.
Yeah.
Is that the first catch Yoshivas has made today? It's got to be first or second. I barely seen this guy.
Second. Yeah, they are. I don't want to say it's one of those things where they're it's so easy that it's like the Chargers. You kind of want them to like let them score.
Yeah,
that's the feeling right now because you don't think you can get another stop.
Cam Hart's not in the game. Denzel Perriman's not in the game. Khalil Mack is hurt. The Cam Hart injury is pretty big because they're still without Asante Samuel. I don't know if Elijah Molden came back in. I thought I saw him make a tackle. I think he's back in. All these will matter. Taylor will settle for a 50-yard field goal miss. Honestly, he's so stupid. He is so dumb.
That's the one thing with the Bengals is against these, good teams in the AFC, they're going to have a coaching disadvantage in pretty much every game. Despite them wanting to throw all the time.
Yep.
Like they're so close. They're so close, but he just doesn't want to do it.
See, the Bengals are already starting to think clock more than touchdown. Like, think touchdown at this point. Think touchdown. Especially with the way that their defense has played second half. It's not like their defense has played very well second half. Pass rush is starting to tee off. Don't get it with these teams. 2-minute warning.
Just trying to run the clock out for the Disley parlay.
What's the price on Cincy now? Like minus
3.
Okay, I was going to start with a 4, but you started with a 3.
350.
350. Doesn't that feel a little cheap?
Just went to 390 on my screen.
Makes
what do you got? You got a slow account there? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. They let Jason bet into the slow moving ones because it won't make a difference anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that bet.
I don't.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
What's the league average on a 50-yarders? Probably around 80%.
League
75?
average.
League average.
I don't even know what it is this year, but it's got to be higher because it's indoor, no elements here. This is
I think I saw the Bears because they had time to run a if they wanted to, they could have ran one more play. If they would have got 5 yards, the league average change was 6%. I think it went from 72 to 7, or maybe it was 76 to 82. Can't remember exactly, but
right. Quick screen?
Yeah.
No. They had it if they wanted to run. Yeah. I mean, that's not the right play.
So now it's down to 265.
They had 3 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen, all with Chargers defenders playing 10 yards off of them. Seemed like a very, very easy quick screen that they could have ran there. I mean, they're just attacking this guy one-on-one. Is it Jasir Taylor? Yeah. No, it was Fulton. Never mind. My bad.
Yeah, the one man. Sheesh.
Oh,
man.
4th down.
Minus 184 now.
Good thing I didn't hit the 350.
Yeah,
I don't want to see the Chargers have a chance to drive down the field for the win.
Yeah.
Do you have Bengals teasers like I do? Do you have anything? I didn't even ask you when you came on.
I had some under, so that was fun. The Khalil Mack news was unfortunate. So
yeah, that was a bad one.
Although it looked like we had some promise there for a minute because the Bengals couldn't do anything for a half. But
yeah. Oh my God, he missed it again. That didn't go over the thing. No.
Man,
these teams are a fucking joke, man. I can't even tell you how big of a joke these teams are.
it blows my mind because, like, I know kickers are good, but like again, like first off, he's 15 of 20 this year. Like, I don't what's the average field goal that he's taking, you know, like. So yeah, I don't get it. To take the points crowd, like the truthers have had a horrible day. Like
I'm gonna just tweet. I'm just gonna tweet at Lombardi now. What? Does anyone know his handle? I think he blocked me a long time ago. Michael Lombardi. Tough day to be Lombardi. M Lombardi NFL.
And there were a lot of short kicks missed today too. It wasn't just like it was 50-yarders.
I actually kind of hope he engages with me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not blocked by him.
There you go.
It's Mike Lombardi NFL, I think. This is what I've become, a troll in life. Troll on the internet.
You know what?
Not in my mom's basement, but close.
You get trolled to become the trolley.
Mm-hmm. But my God, they're dying. That was almost picked. M Lombardi NFL. Yeah. That's what it is.
This is what Herbert is 15 of 32 now. Like, this is incredible.
I'm just not going to tweet this because I don't even know what the hell's going on with my computer. Tough day.
Yeah, Herbert's like it's all bad.
Oh my God, they're going to give the ball back to them. Unbelievable, man. They can't complete a pass in the second half.
15 of 33, insane. All right, what do you Bengals price? What do you got? What's your guess?
What's my guess? Bengals getting the ball back, minus 175.
They're minus 158. It was 142, and then now up to 164. So you're pretty close there. Pretty close.
I think minus 164 is a good bet. I'm going to say that right now. Minus 164 is a good bet.
Starting at the 16. Yeah.
The likelihood. Oh man. 2 timeouts for the Chargers. I'm just trying to think of the derivatives of. Yeah, I think 64 is good.
Probably like no. Well, so here's the other thing that like might play in the Bengals' hand here is like this might force them to be more aggressive. The missed kicks to like get within 40 yards. Yep. Like that's the other thing is. We've become too enamored with like, oh, they'll just make 50-yarders, no big deal. Like if you get inside 40, I can kind of understand it, but the 50-yarders are just not gimmies, man. Like,
right? Yep. I'm with you.
It's insane.
It's also like higher pressure situations. You know that they matter a little bit more. Yeah. Statistically proven that kickers' efficiency rates dip at those points. This has got to be a first down, right? The flag's in the secondary.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no foul for illegal contact. Nope. Wow. I mean, I'm just kind of hoping that the Bengals win now so that Jeff Feinberg punches Jason in the face tomorrow at the office.
Why would you want that?
Don't you think it'd be kind of funny? Yeah.
But no one's going to be recording that. We got to get it.
We'll
record it.
Hey.
Oh, you overthrew him.
Man.
That was the one. I mean, that's what the people want to see, no? They want to see you get punched in the face. Just lean into it. Like literally lean into it. Lean into the punch and let him rip you one in the face.
Just pull a Mike Tyson.
Anyone wants to see that, but
you don't think so?
I don't think so. We'll see. I don't know.
Do you think that you had any impact on the game whatsoever?
Yeah.
Do you think by calling Jeff to get him in? I'm just curious. Do you actually?
Yes, I think the second I got Jeff on here is the turning point of the game.
I know.
That Burrow
Really
fumble, or not Burrow fumble, Herbert fumble was really. That was they had like a drive going, and that was it.
Mhm.
Now they can't even complete a pass.
Yeah. Would you accept the pie in the face?
Bengals.
Would you accept the pie?
What do I get in return? Like that's.
Would you let him? Would you let him urinate on your shoes?
What are you talking about? You're gonna
Piss on your shoes. He's upsetting
No.
you. Pisses on your shoes. No.
No.
No?
What do I get in return for this?
Nothing. You've done enough, man.
What?
You've done your
What
part.
I haven't done anything.
You've done your part. 3rd and 10.
The Chargers are
Third
gonna
and
win.
10.
It doesn't matter. Like,
Oh man,
I feel like they are going to get the ball back. Honestly, these teams are.
these teams are just
Oh my God! He had him wide open.
man. All right,
Who hit him?
let's do it again.
Who hit him there? Game-saving hit.
Henley.
Daya and Henley. Wow.
What do you Chargers price? What do you got? Let's do it again. Is that just the same price for you here? Same situation but flipped.
No, because they would be priced as a bigger favorite because it's less likely that since he can get the ball back in regulation, right? So whoever has the ball now has to be favored more. So Chargers getting the ball back. Am I right on that or no? Or maybe because their offense is just not efficient. Oh, the field position is also going to matter. 15. Okay, they're at their own 15, 45 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Dicker, the kicker, I will say, probably in the same range, minus 160. I don't know how to price these well, honestly. I'm just doing this off the top of my head.
Originally came up at minus 184, then it went off and just opened back up at minus 150. So the punt, the field position, the punt
changed it.
Yeah,
the punt.
Well, I think it's like the same. It's just the same price. I think you're right in that the Chargers get a little bit of a boost because the Bengals can't win. Not can't, but probably won't win in regulation. But also because there's such little time left in space, it regresses into a coin flip.
Oh, McConkey! He got it. He got it.
Wow.
He got it. He's a lad man.
Man, first pass they've completed in like an hour. All right, what do you got now?
Okay,
let's just keep going. What do you got, Jason?
I just need to jump in here quickly. Call timeout. This is the best stream setup I've ever seen in my entire life. The guy is watching the game and watching us on the same screen. I don't know how he does it. This is sick. This is freaking sick. So just had to show that, but
who's that handsome stud on the left there, man? Who's that handsome guy on the left?
Let's say I think you should shrink us and get the game on the full screen, right? Like that's the optimal way to view it.
I don't know. Depends, man.
And the chat was rolling there. Actually, you know what? You wouldn't be able to see the chat though.
You wouldn't be able to see the chat.
That's it.
That's
the winner.
Yeah.
You got to have the chat.
Okay, listen, not that I want to shit on that. That's actually a really good view, but the proportions could be a little different, no? I like it, though.
Oh.
I like it. Can we bring Jeff on live? Jeff is, hate to break it to you, Kevin, Jeff is in a coma at this point. Oh, my God. It went through this lee's hands.
Yep. Man.
Is he coming off the field?
Can you imagine? Oh.
I'm actually rooting for that guy. Listen, I want to win money too. Like, if that's a big hit for someone, go for it.
Worst part is this goes to overtime. He's got to sweat it even longer.
Oh, don't even talk about that.
Why would you say that? That's so mean. That's so mean to say.
I can't believe you dropped that. He just had a drop, right? He's feeling great.
That's roughing the passer for sure. Oh, it's never mind. He caught it.
Oh,
that had to be roughing the passer anyways, no? Didn't Herbert get smoked in the head? Wow. Herbert dealing dimes to Lad McConkey.
Man. All right, now what? What are they at? Where are they at? 29? Man,
it's like minus 1,000 now.
Yeah, that's the mid price. The Chargers are minus 1,600 now. Yeah.
Well,
20 because man, like I said, if you get under 40, they still need to get some yards. But It's crazy.
29, so it's 46-yarder right now. Yeah.
Yeah. The difference between 40 and 50 is just so much on these kicks. Still got to. They have what, one timeout? Yeah.
Is Ladd McConkey this generation's Wes Welker? People are asking. I think Cooper Kupp already is that, no?
Kupp's better, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't
like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Put Cooper Kupp with Tom Brady, and he's fucking cooking. You know, like.
Yeah.
If Kupp was the complementary weapon to Randy Moss, I think that would have been pretty hard to shut down. No disrespect.
Well, I think like.
Oh,
I don't know, what was.
Hello, is he gonna go in? Oh man, now I gotta sweat the teaser. I gotta sweat the teaser.
I don't. Was Welker ever the number? I mean, yeah, he was number one for a bit, but
18 seconds. I'm gonna have to sweat the dumbest fucking play now on offense.
Man.
At least
still optimal to go down there, right?
I think he should have went down at the 1.
Yeah. Or even like go out of bounds, they can take a knee.
It's basically, what's the probability? Do you have a higher probability 99%. Of kicking an 18-yard field goal or preventing the Bengals from scoring a touchdown
70 yards?
With 75 yards. 70
well,
yards.
Right now we can do this, right? The live money line is minus 20,000 on the Chargers. So maybe it's about equal.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is equal, because
I think the Bengals have a better chance to score with 18 seconds left.
Well,
and
here's my thing.
Out.
The way that I look at it, you cannot lose obviously the kick can get blocked, but like, when's the last time an 18-yard field goal has ever been blocked?
Daniel Cook,
you pretty much cannot lose.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, his name is Dicker, though. It's Dicker the kicker. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. I mean, heck, the extra points are like 94, 95%. So you're basically going against a block.
Well, also,
whatever the Bengals are going to cook up here. 20-1 on the Bengals right now. What would you need on the Bengals to bet them?
More than 20-1. More than 20.
The Chargers were minus 20,000, and you only get.
The funny thing is, you know that the Bengals will go for 2 to win the game if they score a touchdown.
Right.
Which actually, are there any spread implications right now? There's no live spread on the game, right? No, that would have been removed.
No, there hasn't been.
Yeah. Another thing, when Dobbins scored that touchdown, it makes it 33-27. The extra point also matters as well, and the probability of a miss. They ended up hitting it, but that would change things. Oh my God.
Jesus.
They already.
Yeah, see, now you got to sweat a Hail Mary at the very least.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got? What's your live price here?
Oh, it's up. Cut down majorly now. It's you have like a 1 in 20 chance now.
Yeah, the Bengals are plus 830, Chargers minus 2,000.
This is insane, man. This is an insane game.
Both of these teams, Burrow got smoked on that too. Both of these teams,
he got destroyed, man.
Both of these teams couldn't do anything, and then their final 2 drives, they're just hitting these chunk plays.
The question is, what do you do here on this particular play?
Man.
They're talking about it on the broadcast now. I can hear Collinsworth. You do not have time for 2 shots at the end zone, I don't think.
No. You could maybe get lucky, but if the Chargers are smart, they're like making you have to throw into a crowded area.
Run a hook and ladder and get 15 yards out of bounds.
Yeah. You do that. You remember you remember when the Chiefs did that? I mean, other teams have done it. The like screen Hail Mary.
I do remember that.
That was so awesome. I feel like that's not utilized enough. But
I mean, listen, if the Bengals have the receivers that I'd want to throw a Hail Mary to, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Like they have guys. I'm very interested to see what the Chargers do because I hate when teams like rush 2 or 3 and give the quarterback all day long. Also, like the Bengals should just max protect and run like 2 or 3 receivers downfield because they have hands guys.
Well, and like you have your like 1 or 2 guys max have a chance to catch the ball in the air. You just need one other guy to be around to catch the tip.
Oh man.
The live price of them hitting this is, well, I guess it's not technically to win the game, but is plus 900. I feel like that's.
Well, I feel like it's low. It's bad. It's not. You think it's good?
It's a bad price. No, it's a bad price.
I could never take that because it's not only that, but you also then have the overtime to deal with, or the 2 coin
or the 2 point. Yeah. You have a coin flip after it, basically. Yeah, the Chargers were minus 2,500. So
here we go.
Fun game though.
Oh, amazing! Really, really fun. Oh, great play. Who was that? Derwin James.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It was short. It was at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
But it looked like it had a chance to be caught. Derwin James, really strong play on the ball.
Yep.
Interesting. So they threw that pretty quickly while the receivers are running downfield instead of kind of taking the time for everyone to get settled at the end zone.
Yeah. That is, I guess, better chance for like a one-on-one, like jump ball, maybe, instead of like 5v3 or 5v2. So
it was a good toss. Like the problem is, I think if Higgins caught it, even if he had caught it, you never know if the contact would have kept him in play, if he would have got in the end zone. Not bad.
Is there anything worse than getting tackled at the 1 on a catch on a Hail Mary?
Oh, that's brutal, man. That'd be brutal. Absolutely
horrible. Before I sign off here, Will Dissly parlay. Got him.
Yep. He got
Congrats to that guy.
Congrats to that guy. Congrats to that guy.
What a sweat that drop was. But
that was a big hit. Disley nails it. Yeah. Parlay guy got to the window. Listen, at least someone won some money tonight. We didn't all give it away. Lost the main prop bets. Didn't hit the anytime touchdowns. The T. Higgins ladders kind of made up for it a little bit. What are you going to do? Fun game. Yeah, overall. Austin Mock, everyone. Austin, have a good week, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at amock419. That's going to be it for me tonight. I'm back here on Forward Progress tomorrow night. Monday Night Football, Cowboys, Texans, live in studio. That is happening. If you like Circles Off, or if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. There's an interview dropping. So when you wake up, you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts on your way to work, or you can watch it on YouTube at any point as well. Of course, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe here on Forward Progress. And I'll see everyone tomorrow night. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Thank you to all the nails in the chat who keep this going over the course of the night. Great game. Very entertaining second half tonight. We move on. Week 12 in the NFL upcoming next week. Forward Progress here, 3 p.m. tomorrow as well. TA, Suma, Eric Pauly, Judah, breaking down the Monday Night Football game and the week ahead. Lots of stuff coming up. Make sure you stay tuned for all of it. For myself, Rob Pizzola, for Austin Mock, for Jeff Feinberg, who's now officially alive again. Doesn't need the defibrillator to get the heart going anymore. Clive Bixby. And of course, Jason Cooper. Behind the scenes and on the scene over the course of the night tonight as well. This has been another watch along here on Forward Progress presented by FanDuel. Peace out, everyone. Enjoy your evening.